a walk-off home run. 4 seconds left. The Buffs take the lead. Bam launches the three and knocks it home. Well, it is a beautiful October evening here in the Texas Panhandle, and we welcome you to First United at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium, one of the best venues in all of Division II, and the site of another fierce Lone Star Conference rivalry battle as the 3-4 West Texas A&M Buffaloes host the 4-4 UT Permian Basin Falcons. This is the Marble Depot pregame show. I'm Lucas Kinsey. Joining me in the booth tonight, my broadcast partner Bryce Sheets. Kent Johnson will be down on the sidelines providing reports for us throughout this broadcast. All right, got to bring this up here at the start. Last year in Midland, these two teams, they put on an epic thriller as UTPB fought back from a 24-10 deficit starting the fourth quarter to force the game into overtime. The Falcons scored a touchdown, and the Buffs then came back with a touchdown of their own, but the Buffaloes went for the two-point conversion and the win. Cannon Gibson, the quarterback, went back for a pass through it, fell incomplete, and UTPB stormed the field as the scoreboard read Falcons 41, Buffs 40 in overtime. UTPB goes on to win the Lone Star Conference Championship, the 2023 championship last year, and earned a playoff spot, while WT ended up losing 5 of their final 6 games. We fast forward a year, and now the Falcons, they've literally been on a roller coaster ride this year. Win-loss, back and forth to a 4-4 record. Now, WT, they started out slow, losing 4 of their first 5 games, but they bounced back strong in the last 2 with big wins against Western New Mexico and Eastern New Mexico. Bryce, one thing we do know is that when these two teams meet up, it's hard-hitting, it's emotional, and oftentimes it's dramatic.
Yeah, I don't know that they really officially classify it as a rivalry, but it's a huge rivalry.
Yeah.
I mean, it's beyond huge because these two teams just don't like each other for whatever reason, and in all sports, not just in football, but in all sports. And so, yeah, it's definitely a rivalry. And again, when they get together, you expect about anything except the kitchen sink to be thrown out there.
Yeah. Now, Bryce, can the Buffaloes keep up the strong play that we have seen over the last 2 weeks? Because, what people are saying is there's been some things, some changes. The offense looks really good. The defense played really well last week against Eastern New Mexico in that win in the wagon wheel. But, they're also looking at this saying this is UTPB, who was picked to be up at the top of the Lone Star Conference.
No, absolutely. And so, they're going to get their best from UTPB tonight. But, again, Cannon Gibson, as you talked about, had a great game last year against UTPB. He's had 2 really good games, the last 2 that he has started.
Yeah.
And it feels like their offense is kind of in a rhythm right now. Defensively, go back to the Western New Mexico game. In that second half, WT defense just squashed anything Western tried to do.
Yeah.
And that carried over to last week. And so it feels like both sides, offense and defense, are beginning to rise at the right time.
The promotion tonight, it's a pink out here at West Texas A&M as we are supporting breast cancer awareness, and we appreciate the Zeta Tau Alpha sorority for all of their support, everything that they do in terms of breast cancer awareness. So that is, you'll see a lot of pink tonight. In fact, you're going to see the Buffaloes in gray uniforms with a lot of pink, some pink socks and pink armbands and all that, so it's going to be pretty cool here tonight at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. When we come back, we're going to look at the Lone Star Conference standings and some of the scores, some games that have already happened today, some finals. But it's West Texas A&M and UTPB, 4th and 5th place in the Lone Star Conference. A win tonight keeps conference title chances alive, and we're expecting a good old-fashioned Donnybrook here in Canyon, Texas, between the Buffs and the Falcons right here on Flow Sports.
Welcome to Shimon Dental Group, where every day we're excited to see our patients and treat them like family.
We are dedicated to providing you with the highest quality care in a friendly and comfortable environment. Shimon Dental Group's patient-focused philosophy puts your needs front and center.
We are constantly investing in leading-edge technology. Innovations that speed the treatment process and improve aesthetics. We're expanding the breadth of our cosmetic and restorative services through training to provide the best possible outcomes.
Just with the level of commitment that they show to taking care of my family and I, it's absolutely unmatched in this town, so I've been very happy with them.
Brightening smiles for more than 3 decades.
Contact Shimon Dental Group for your appointment today.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. The pregame tonight, the Marble Depot pregame show, as we get the stage set for West Texas A&M against UT Permian Basin. And Bryce, Lone Star Conference, we talked about it, the Buffs and the Falcons WT coming into the game tonight in fourth place with a 3-2 Lone Star Conference record, and UT Permian Basin right behind the Buffs 3-3. It's interesting, you look at UT Permian Basin 2 weeks ago, Bryce, they had a huge win in Ellensburg, Washington over Central Washington.
Yeah, they really did. 14-13, they controlled both sides of the line of scrimmage, and again, it was a road game. But then they come home, take on Western Oregon, and lose by a field goal in that one. And so, again, it kind of makes you wonder which team is coming out for this ball game tonight for UTPB.
And that's been the Lone Star Conference for the most part in football, with the exception of Angelo State, who is up at the top coming into the games tonight, 5-0 record in LSC play. Then Western Oregon was next at 5-1, Central Washington 4-1, Kingsville 4-2. They had been hot, then they had cooled off a little bit, then followed by West Texas A&M and UT Permian Basin. So we already have some finals today.
Yeah, we already know Kingsville did win today. They won 21-14 over Western Oregon. So that's Western Oregon's first loss in the LSC, and Kingsville improves them to 4-2 in LSC action. Also, Eastern New Mexico got by Western New Mexico, so the Greyhounds pick up a win. Those two teams were looking for their first conference win, and so the Greyhounds pick up their first of the season.
You know, with these LSC games, how much do you feel like the home field still makes a factor in these games?
I think that's a big thing, and really when you talk to the players after last week's or 2 weeks ago here, they talked about the crowd and how much it meant to them. And so, again, it's parents' night tonight or family night tonight.
Yep.
And so, again, if you get a good crowd out here and just a lot of emotion, that really carries over. Now we're not slide over it a little bit. I got to do a soccer game today, and the crowd was really great. Probably the biggest crowd I saw so far this season. The
LSC matchup.
Yeah, the Buffs beat number 18 Midwestern 3-1, and they just talked about the crowd and the enthusiasm, and so a crowd makes a big difference when you're at home.
For West Texas A&M, head coach Josh Lynn last week in Portales, that was a huge victory for him and for the coaching staff, and we get the sense in visiting with him over the last 2 weeks, winning can cure a lot of things, right?
Yes, it definitely does. And the thing about it is when you're winning and it feels like everybody's hitting on all cylinders, things are starting to progress in the right way. Practices are fun, more fun anyway. Games are definitely more fun. And again, it just seems to cure a lot of ills. And I think for the Buffs right now, on both sides of the ball, in fact, maybe all three sides, when you count special teams, it all comes into play.
Yeah, for West Texas A&M again, and we'll talk more about our keys here later in the pregame, some other things as well. But the offense, that's been just a huge change. The numbers, when you look at from 2 weeks ago, they were, in terms of the rankings, Bryce, they were in the 100s and 120s in the country, and they've moved up. I mean, now 25 points a game. Big improvement is in the run game, as now 191 rushing yards per contest. That's been a huge difference.
Yeah, it really is. And so what that means is that, the Buffs offensive line is blocking, and then so they're doing the things that they need to do for the offense in order to open up holes for Trajan Henderson or whoever to run through. So basically that's the big key. All right, so let's head down to the sideline. Kent Johnson standing by. Kent, go ahead and take it away.
After splitting their first 8 games of the season, the UT Permian Basin football team runs into tonight's game with records of 4-4 overall, 3-3 in conference play, having alternated wins and losses every week of the season. And in an interesting quirk of scheduling, they will play their final 3 games of the regular season on the road, beginning tonight right here at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. The Falcons are under the guidance of head coach Chris McCullough, who is in his second year with the Odessa University. A year ago in his first season, he guided the Falcons football program to its first ever Lone Star Conference championship, as well as the school's first ever NCAA Division II postseason appearance. Tonight is just the 8th meeting between the two schools. West Texas A&M holds a 5-2 lead in the series, and UT Permian Basin is 0-3 in games played here in Canyon. The Falcons' offense is controlled by true freshman Isaac Mooring. He's a left-hander. Tonight will be his third game to play under center. He came on 3 weeks ago in a loss against Angelo State when then starter Dylan Graham went down with injury. Mooring made his first start 1 week later at Central Washington, leading the Falcons to an upset over then 9th-ranked Central Washington on the road. The Falcons were flying high, but it didn't last long. Last week they came crashing down as they lost at home to Western Oregon 14-13. In that game, Western Oregon overcame a 14-point first quarter deficit to take the win. They also rushed the ball for 212 yards. And you talk about ball control, the Wolves held the ball 40 minutes, 59 seconds of the game, as opposed to just 19 minutes, 1 second for the Falcons. Now, when Mooring throws the football, his favorite receiver is Jeremiah Cooley. Cooley has 28 catches for 386 yards and 4 touchdowns. West Texas fans may remember that name because a year ago, Cooley caught 8 catches for 120 yards and a couple touchdowns in the Falcons' 41-40 overtime win over the Buffaloes down in Odessa. When the Falcons are on the ground, it's junior running back Corey Harris carrying the load. 158 attempts, 680 yards, 5 touchdowns. Defensively, sophomore linebacker Tristan Exline has 59 solo tackles, with 4 coming behind the line of scrimmage. And as a unit, UT Permian Basin's defense has forced 10 turnovers this season. UTPB, as I said, has never won in Canyon. They'll be looking for a program first. The Buffaloes are riding a 2-game win streak, having defeated Western New Mexico and Eastern New Mexico. They haven't won 3 in a row since 2019 when they defeated Western Oregon, Central Washington, and UTPB. It's a beautiful night for football. Our game time temperature is 62 degrees, winds out of the south, 12 mile an hour. You couldn't ask for anything better. Now let's go back upstairs to Bryce and Lucas.
All right, thanks very much, Ken. And again, just great. You see the band outperforming right now.
Don't they sound great?
They're fantastic.
Man.
I mean, if you haven't watched a band contest, this is a band you want to come and watch because they have such a big sound and they do such a great job.
For West Texas A&M and UT Permian Basin, it was interesting to hear Kent talk about the series. And Bryce, we all remember that first time that WT and UT Permian Basin hooked up. It was huge excitement. UT Permian Basin was their first home game to host at Ratliff Stadium, the legendary high school stadium there in Odessa for Odessa Permian and Odessa High School. There were tornadoes in the area. When I say in the area, I mean like a mile away.
We could see them. I mean, we actually could see them. So
and they actually had to postpone that night, and then we played on Sunday. Sunday college football, and the Buffs won 48-14. Since then, they've definitely been in some good battles. But here at home, we talk about, does home field advantage make a difference? Well, the Buffs are 3-0 against the Falcons here in Canyon.
Yeah, it definitely makes a difference. 1-0 here at Bain Schaefer. And so, again, that home field, you asked about it, it does come into play. And so the Buffs need get a good start for tonight's contest, but yet get the fans involved in everything that takes place as well.
It's also interesting hearing Kent talk about UT Permian Basin. Chris McCullough, only his second year, and he's done a really good job with this program. Obviously, last year had a really talented quarterback that came with him from East Central University. That's where he was at previous to UTPB. That quarterback last year, great season for him. Now he's the co-offensive coordinator.
Co-offensive coordinator and the quarterback's coach. So, yeah, you really trust him. He really values what he does, what he did as a player, and now what he does as a coach to help out. And again, they have young quarterbacks too. He's helping to school some of those young quarterbacks.
For UT Permian Basin, I mentioned in the opening there that each team still has their hopes alive for a conference title. I know that they're down in the standings a little bit, but it is a legitimate hope.
Well, there is, and again, you only take on the next game that comes your way, and if you do that, then force yourself, again, come away with a win. That just means each and every week there's more optimism for what you can do for the season.
Yeah, for West Texas A&M, one game at a time. I mean, that's kind of the message that we've been hearing from Coach Lynn. But I think that they're looking forward to this matchup. And again, for the Buffaloes, it's a lot about confidence. I mean, this is still a young team mixed in with some of these transfers that they brought in, but we've seen them get a lot better, and their schedule up front was very tough.
Yeah, and that is the big thing. I mean, you play 3 ranked teams at the beginning of the season, and so that always makes it difficult. You get to see how your team grows. You get to see how, positions gel. But the fact is, it wasn't until they got to the bye week, got a practice, a week of practice in, and then really got into the second half of this season where they have seen the team take off.
Let's listen in to the rest of this West Texas A&M school song, and then we'll have our national anthem coming up shortly here as we prepare for West Texas A&M and UT Permian Basin.
For 90 years, the Lone Star.
Stand and remove your caps as we honor America with the playing of the national anthem.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. An outstanding job by the West Texas A&M band as they perform there and get everyone fired up. We're getting closer to kickoff. And Bryce, it's time to look at our X-Bar Steakhouse X Factor of the game. What a factor he was last week over in Portales, New Mexico.
Yeah, Trajan Henderson, just an incredible game. He's one of those guys that's been itching to get out and perform, and he got a chance to do so last week.
Yeah, Trajan Henderson, 6 foot, 220-pound senior, originally from Fort Worth, as he transferred over from Central Washington, and on the season now over 500 yards rushing, 3 touchdowns, 5.5 yards per carry. As you look at what he was able to do last week, breaking tackles, dancing into the end zone, and you see he was excited there. Bryce, we were just waiting for this breakout game.
Yes, yeah, it definitely was. 173 yards for him last week. 2 of the 3 touchdowns of the season came last week. And again, we knew that was there. We knew he could do all the things he's doing right now. It's just when everybody got in sync, you knew that was going to be a breakout.
Yeah, for Henderson, again, you go back 2 years ago, he ran for over 1,000 yards and 14 touchdowns, was a second-team All-LSC player for Central Washington. And we had a chance to visit with him several weeks ago at the coaches show. Very well spoken, just a great young man, and you could tell the other thing about him is he's a leader and a competitor.
Yeah, no, he definitely is. And so, again, he's one of those guys that obviously they came new to the program, along with Sean Johnson and some others. Those guys were well received, and they've imparted their wisdom of the years that they've played to the younger players. This made a big difference.
How much of a difference for Trajan Henderson and Jamal Joseph and Cannon Gibson, really the entire offense, do these big boys up front
huge. I mean, huge. And that was the thing is, could they get in sync?
The offensive line.
Yeah, and that's what I mean. By the time, the last few games, we've seen them kind of rally together. And you got to talk to them this week on the coaches show. They're having fun. They enjoy each other. And again, they just want to go out and perform.
Yeah, it's a mixture of some younger guys with 2 seniors. We had Matty Ames, who's one of those seniors at the right tackle spot. He was on the coaches show along with Canyon Ives, who is a sophomore, both of the tackles. But you really like Joe Taossi as well, the center, Bryce, out of Melbourne, Australia. He's not a rugby player. He's a center.
I know. And he played at Louisiana Tech. But the thing about it is your center makes all the calls. And so you've got to have somebody that is not just intelligent, but really can kind of sense what the defense is going to do. And so I think that's Joe Tias, especially in the last few weeks.
Hunter Maston and Jax Andrews, the guards. And then we've also seen this season Nico Castaneda, Zach Dietrich, Frankie McFadden, who can play center, can play guard as well. Andres Barraza is a young player that they like. And then Tayshawn Pennington. So we love giving the offensive linemen the shout-outs. And it was funny because at the coaches show, those guys were saying, we appreciate that, and anytime that there's a big block, Coach Lynn said when we go back on film with the new technology with Huddle, they said they put a big circle, but the thing is you don't know when you're watching the film, the players don't know.
Right.
Does this circle mean I was about to be a really good play, or did I miss the assignment?
And so again, and again, that's what makes it fun. And right now for WT, I just think football is so fun. Again, when you get on a little streak like they're on right now, trying to go win their 3rd in a row. And so that is, that's what makes everything about college life fun.
All right, we're going to have fun tonight. We're going to take a final timeout here on Flow Sports. When we return, Bryce and I will look at the Street Toyota keys to the game and get you set for this big Lone Star Conference battle. The West Texas A&M Buffaloes and the Falcons. There you go. You see thunder preparing to come down through the tunnel. We're back after this timeout.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
The best tailgates start with the best beef, and the best beef starts with Market Street. Market Street, where we do beef the best.
And there is thunder bringing the Buffaloes onto the field. Kent Johnson, maybe his favorite part about our home games, Bryce, is the Buffalo coming out onto the field, and here come the Buffaloes in those uniforms we were talking about.
Yeah, those great uniforms. You see the pink, and again, for breast cancer awareness, and personal meaning to me. And my mother passed away from breast cancer, and so again, it's just great to see everybody here supporting all that's going on here at West Texas A&M.
Yeah, we've been to a couple of different events before in the month of October where they were talking about breast cancer awareness, and they say, hey, stand up if you have lost a family member or you've had a family member who has gone through it. And there's really not, you look around the room and most people are standing up.
Yeah, no, absolutely. It's touched so many lives. And so, again, that's why the players are wearing pink tonight. And so it just means a lot for all those who are going through their own personal battles, wherever it may be.
All right, let's look at our Street Toyota keys to the game for West Texas A&M tonight. And number one key, Bryce, run. Buffaloes run.
Absolutely. I mean, they've done it the last couple of weeks, over 250 yards per game on the ground, and so they need to establish the run. The offensive line needs to control the line of scrimmage, and that gets Trajan Henderson up and running, and so hopefully he can have a big night tonight. That opens up so many things for the offense in this one.
Number two key, Coach Lynn down on the field, when I talked to him about 30 minutes ago, Bryce, this one was a big one in terms of defensively. Buffs have to do a great job of tackling in space because UT Permian Basin has some dudes.
Well, and they do. I mean, they got a big line. They've got some big players overall, and so you got to be able to wrap up. And that's the big thing about football in general. Make sure you're sure tackles. You're making good wraps. You're taking guys down. And so that's been a big problem for not just the WT team, a lot of teams in the region.
Corey Harris, the running back for UT Permian Basin, nearly 700 yards on the ground. Jeremiah Cooley, Laquan Wells, Deion Cook, these receivers, they can fly, so you got to break down and tackle. Here's the last key, Bryce. This is a big one for me. Prove it. UTPB won the LSC last year. They were picked second in the preseason poll. They've gone up and down a little bit, but for West Texas A&M, they needed this win tonight to prove in front of Buff Nation crowd that this team is getting better and that they need to be respected.
Yeah, well, and again, the last two wins, of course, against the two teams that hadn't found a conference win. And so, again, you want to go out there and show a team that was the conference champion last year that we can kind of control what we're doing as far as controlling our destiny. And that bit continues on with the battle against you guys tonight.
All right, here's the coin toss from our head referee, Royce Smith. Very nice gentleman that I got to visit with before the game started. And it looks like UT Permian Basin has won the toss.
UTPB has won the toss and elected to defer.
So that means the Buffaloes will get it?
West Texas A&M will receive. Good luck, gentlemen.
So, again, big ball game tonight for both teams. And so, again, both have goals and desires for this season. And the next game up is the one you got to take care of. And for the Buffaloes and for UTP, that takes place here tonight.
Your officials for tonight mention the referee Royce Smith, umpire Bernard Johnson. The headline judge is Connor Bussing. Field judge, Mr. Corey Dixon. The line judge is Brandon Nunn. Side judge, Jason Pugh. Back judge is Carson Thomas. And the center judge is Garrett Gray. There's a look at head coach Josh Lynn down on the sidelines. And for Coach Lynn, 70 total wins at Eastern New Mexico, University of Nebraska-Kearney, and now at West Texas A&M. And the Buffaloes will get the football to start things off. So you're going to see this offense, which I mentioned has had some big improvements for WT. They're averaging 386 yards per game, 191 on the ground, 194 through the air. And, Bryce, last year in this game that was played actually in Midland, the Buffs going at UT Permian Basin, Cannon Gibson was playing quarterback as a freshman last year, and he had a really good game.
Yeah, he rushed for almost 125 yards, 123 yards on the ground. He threw for almost 200 yards, 197. And so he had a complete game and really moved the offense for the Buffaloes. And, a year later, we kind of need him to do the same thing tonight.
For UT Permian Basin, we're going to see their defense come out, and it's been a very solid defense, Bryce. They've got a solid and a massive defensive tackle, but a very good defensive front, some talented linebackers. Their defense gives up 19 points per game and only 279 total yards.
Their nose tackle's Austin Williams. He's 6'5", 370 pounds.
He's like 2.5 of me.
Yeah, exactly. And so, again, he gums up the middle. If you're trying to get a running game going, you got to get around the big guy in order to do so.
The linebackers leading the way, Kent mentioned him, Tristan Exline, a sophomore from China Springs, Texas, which is a a powerhouse in Texas high school football. He leads the way with 59 tackles, and then Jalen Rockmore, which is a great linebacker name, by the way. There you go. These guys are ready. We already got our shirts off, and we're almost into November. It tells you how great the weather is in the Panhandle. But Jalen Rockmore, a 6'1", 230-pound senior linebacker out of McKinney, Texas. Another good defensive player. The Buffs will receive the opening kickoff. Going back deep will be number 9, TJ Moore Jr. and Zorian Stanton. And we love to see these guys get the ball in their hands, both out of the state of Florida, and they're both really fast. Here's the kickoff. And we're underway at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. It's a short kick. Buffs got to come up to field it, and they just barely do. Did they recover the ball? It's still loose. And no signal yet from the officials.
Yeah, that was one. There's a little miscommunication on who was going to take
Bryce,
it.
WT got the ball, but don't start the game off giving me a heart attack.
Yeah.
2 seconds into the game, and already, I told you we were going to have drama.
Eddie McClendon comes out of the pile with the football, and so I think there's just miscommunication on who was going to get it because it took a weird hop up in the air. There's the starting offense for the Buffs.
Yeah, we mentioned that offensive line, and Bryce, the other thing, too, you like the tight end. Brennan Ray does the little things.
He does everything. He's a five-tool guy from that. I mean, just great blocker. He can catch a pass out of the backfield, and he can run with it if you need him to.
Who's busier, Brennan Ray or Kent Johnson? That's a good question right there. Our sideline reporter, he's going to be everywhere tonight. Handoff on first down, and Trajan Henderson spins off of the first would-be tackler, gains a couple of yards before he runs into Tristan Exline. And there you see that defense for the Falcons. The secondary on the back end, Jamarian Ravenel and Nick Butler, the safeties, Dante Higgins and Karel Coney, the cornerbacks. So 2nd down and 8 for the Buffaloes, opening drive of the game. They roll Cannon Gibson to the left, and he dumps it out for a loss on the play. That play was busted from the beginning. Tyree Tipton makes the catch, Bryce, but he goes backwards, loss of 3.
Yeah, there really wasn't anywhere for Tyree to go as they had him kind of zeroed in on the sideline over there. And so really probably Cannon would have been better served just to throw it out of bounds and at least save the field position where the Buffs were. So it does bring up a 3rd down and 10 for WT.
So you see what they do here on 3rd and long.
Yeah, Gibson got the signal. He goes up to the line and tells them what they anticipate.
5 seconds on the play clock. Buffs have got to hurry out of the gun. Gibson throws a fastball, and it's deflected as Swoboda was the intended receiver, but just blanketed coverage. And Bryce, I know it's just the opening drive, but I would say Cannon Gibson looked very uncomfortable on those plays there.
He did not look comfortable at all. And so the thing about it is, too, he tried to get it to a receiver that had the first down yardage almost, and because he had another receiver that was open, but he wasn't far enough upfield.
So the Buffs have to punt it away. And it's taken from the 35-yard line up across the 40 to the 45 on the punt return there for Gunnar Absek, number 13.
Great field position for UTPB as they get it at the 45. And so, you talk about, flipping the field and things like that. They were able to do so, stopping the Buffs for only really no yards in their first possession.
So the UT Permian Basin offense now on the field, and Isaac Mooring, the starting quarterback, 6'3", 210-pound freshman out of Houston. A talented offense, 27 points a game, 144 rushing yards per contest, 236 through the air. First play is a quarterback keeper over the right side. Not much going for Isaac Mooring. Maybe a gain of 1, and the Buffs do a good job down the line, making the tackle that time, Soso Sakimi.
Well, of course, Kent talked about the fact that Isaac Mooring is starting his 3rd game. He's played in 4 games so far this season, but still trying to get in repetition as far as what he wants to do offensively.
This time it'll be a pass play. Lefty Mooring airs it down the sideline, has a receiver there. That is a touchdown. He found the speed down the sideline, a little dance afterwards. And that's hauled in by Ben Patterson, number 10, I thought he had overthrown the receiver, Bryce, but the receiver just catches it in stride.
It was one of those where the receiver kind of extends his speed. In other words, he just takes off after he got even with the defensive back. Then he just explodes, runs under the football, and takes it in for an easy score.
Extra point try coming from Angel Diaz, a freshman from DeSoto, after Ben Patterson hauls in the long touchdown. 54 yards from Isaac Mooring. I mean, he throws it like, okay, I know you're fast, go get it. And Patterson runs right past Cam Manahan. Touchdown Falcons. They lead 7-0, 12:51 to play early here from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. We're back with the kickoff right after this timeout.
She said she wasn't hungry. She only wanted a bite. But this isn't just a patty melt. This is a Whataburger patty melt, the all-time favorite, with 2 all-beef patties, Monterey Jack, grilled onions, and creamy pepper sauce. So 1 bite became 2, and 2 became mine. Just a bite, huh? Mark that one down as a lesson learned. The Whataburger patty melt, just like you like it.
Jenkins Doors and Windows began serving the Texas Panhandle in 1927, and we take pride in being a part of your neighborhood. We don't use false promises or gimmicks. We simply offer quality doors and windows at a fair price, and we stand behind every sale. Jenkins is family owned and operated, and proudly continues the traditions of quality and excellence that started over 80 years ago. Call us at 372-4336 or stop by our showroom at 820 West 6th and let our knowledgeable staff help you pick out the perfect doors and windows for your home.
Well, only a 2-play drive as we look at the Educator of the Year. This is Educators Night here at Bain Schaefer Stadium, so congratulations. And a 2-play drive, it covered 55 yards. A 54-yard pass to Ben Patterson was the big difference in that drive. The extra point is good, and UTPB takes no time off the clock, 34 seconds, and they lead 7-0.
And there was nothing tricky about that touchdown, Bryce. It was you run as fast as you can. I'm going to throw it as far as I can.
That's one of
6
those
points.
You know, your friends in the backyard say you go up to the tree and turn right.
Yeah.
So that's basically what that was.
So a quick lead here for UT Permian Basin. And Bryce, it's very early, but we'd love to see this offense come out with a little more oomph, just a little flat.
Yeah, we want to see them get going. And so, you know, that's the thing. Cannon warming up on the near sideline, trying to get the arm a little looser.
Kickoff from Rafael Vargas. And a fair catch made. They're going with kind of the pooch kick to keep it away from the deep return men. And it's been a good strategy.
TJ Moore, of course, had a good game against them last year, so they're familiar with what he can do and what kind of speed he has.
So the Buff offense back on the field for the second time, and
Drive begins at the 25-yard line of West
they went with
Texas.
one run to Trajan Henderson, a couple of passes that were, one was complete for a loss, and then the third down and long play incomplete. So the Buffs back on the field, same personnel. They do bring a tight end on the field on the far side of the field. I believe that's 86 Cade Figg. Henderson gets the carry and is hit from behind after he gains 2 or 3 yards.
Again, you'd like to see the line get a bit of a bigger push, but the issue, too, as we talked about, is Austin Williams at 370 pounds. And he doesn't look, I mean, he's just a big guy at 6'5".
Andres Barraza checks in, number 69, offensive lineman for WT. As Bryce, the Buffaloes have 6 offensive linemen on this set. Handoff to Henderson up the middle. Trajan, good running room as he gains yardage to the 36. That should be a first down at 35. They say move the sticks. The extra offensive lineman.
That was a big difference. And again, they want to get the running game going tonight because that opens everything up. And so, again, you know, in weeks past, Josh Lynn talked about getting the passing game going to open up the running game. Tonight, it's the reverse.
So I guess number 58 right now, Hunter Masson, is the right tackle. This is a play-action play across the middle. Tucker Swoboda, great snag. First down into Falcons territory, down to the 45-yard line, as that ball had some zip on it.
Yeah, it really did. And again, Cannon Gibson was warming up before they went back out there, and so that play, a little misdirection or something along that line. You expected to run, and they threw the pass.
So a big pickup there for WT. And now another play to Swoboda, catch for Tucker. He's pushed out of bounds after another first down is picked up, give him 12 yards there. Good connection.
Now starting to get in rhythm, and that's the big thing we need. We need everybody to feel comfortable and get in a certain rhythm.
First down.
So the Buffs on the move, again trailing 7-0 early here in the first quarter. They fake the handoff, throw it down the sideline, receivers there, and it's going to be a touchdown. Stanton stayed in bounds as the pass was on the money. Touchdown Buffaloes. Cannon Gibson slow to get up, and Coach Lynn is furious. He feels like there should have been a penalty.
There should have been, because it was a late hit after he released the ball, and so he got leveled to the ground. That's why Coach Lynn is furious, and so good reason there. The flag should have been thrown and wasn't by the referee, but nevertheless, a big throw into the end zone for a score.
33-yard touchdown strike from Gibson to Zorian Stanton, and it was impressive after he made the catch that he stayed in bounds, got into the end zone. The extra point is up, and it is good. Here's the replay. Watch Gibson. Yeah, he didn't go high. It was a solid hit. And so I think that actually was a good no call there from the official as we saw that replay. So there's Thunder runs on the field. The Buffaloes tie it up 7-7, 10:46 to play here in the first quarter. You're watching the Buffaloes and the Falcons on Flow Sports.
Your support makes an impact. Buffalo Club donors help our student athletes achieve their goals of winning championships while earning their degree from WT. Your support provides funds for recruiting, scholarships, and program enhancements that make WT recognized as a top 10 NCAA Division II athletic program and the best in Texas.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile, whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. A 5-play drive covers 75 yards for the Buffaloes. The last 33 was a Cannon Gibson to Zorian Stanton connection. The extra point is good. We're tied at 7 with 10:46 left to play in the first quarter.
Coach Lynn getting an explanation down there from the officials. And again, when we showed the replay, Bryce, I think it's a legal hit. Watch it again.
Yeah. I just saw the body.
It was a hard hit.
So it was a hard hit. It was football, and so again, you can't argue too much about that. And so
see how we've been trained over now, Bryce.
You're right.
Used to with you growing up and then me growing up in 2 different decades.
Yeah, that was just a normal hit on the quarterback.
Yeah, and it was a highlight
when I grew up. You know.
So. But they want to make sure that they take care of the quarterbacks and the defenseless receivers and running backs.
Sure.
That time it was a good no call.
And again, safety is becoming more paramount in this game, and so that's one of the things they do want to watch on. But again, like you said, in the replay showed, Cannon did get the hit, but he completed the pass and got up.
And what does that say about the throw that he made?
Yeah.
With pressure in his face. Kickoff here from the Buffaloes, and it's going to be a return for UT Permian Basin up for number 7, quickly across the 20, 25, 30, breaking outside. That's actually number 2 for the Falcons on the return. That is Laquan Traylon Sewell, quick wide receiver there on the return for UT Permian Basin. They've got to be careful with him. The sophomore from College Station, Sewell, averages nearly 30 yards per kick return. He has a 96-yard touchdown already this year.
Shows good speed. I mean, that time he was able to kind of zig and zag to get away from a couple of tackles and returned it into positive territory up to the 36.
So the Buffaloes defense, we didn't see him for long last time they were out on the field because it was a quick touchdown strike from the quarterback, Isaac Mooring, to the receiver, Ben Patterson. This is a handoff, and a hole opens up across the 40 to the 41-yard line over the right side. And that's number 33.
Carried by Corey Harris.
Corey Harris, who was number 5.
By Zach Schlegel.
So they changed numbers on us.
Well, we have 33 listed as Tyler Cleveland. So we'll see. The public address did say it was Corey Harris, but they've got 33 as Tyler Cleveland. Now they have an empty backfield on 2nd down and 6. Mooring goes back to throw. Excellent protection. Again, going for a deep ball thrown over the receiver's head. And it was Eddie McClendon on the coverage back there.
Yeah, Eddie did a nice job. Again, he kind of stayed step for step with the receiver. The receiver had to adjust to the ball that was thrown high to the outside and just couldn't pull that one in. Nice job. Buffaloes did get not the strong pressure they want on the quarterback, Mooring, but they did put some pressure on it to force it maybe to throw before he wanted to.
Yeah, no Corey Harris actually on the updated flip charts that they gave us here tonight, so they may be without their best running back this evening. 3rd down and long, the play thrown on the outside, caught. The defensive back went for the interception, and instead it's a pass completion on the outside to number 19. That's a good catch for Jace Wyatt.
Pass complete.
Yeah, it was kind of a jump ball, and you got to determine, are you going to beat there in time to either intercept it or tip it away, or in that case, it got over your fingertips and becomes a 1st down reception.
So far, so good here, Bryce, for this young freshman quarterback out of Houston.
Looks very smooth.
Again, he's not small either. 6'3", 210 pounds. Play action on 1st down. Mooring rolling to his left. Throws it, and Ty Dillon nearly had another interception.
Pass intended for Jeremiah
Falls incomplete.
We got a chance to talk to Ty Dillon a couple of weeks ago at the coaches show, and of course, he was one of the first to go up and grab the wagon wheel last week. He said he had it mapped out. He knew what he was going to do.
That sneak over.
Yeah, he was going to go up and get it, and he was able to do so.
Buffs get defensive substitutions on the field. Extra defensive back in on 2nd down and long, but this is a handoff to Cleveland over the left side. Good running room for a little bit, and then the Buffs shut it down. Nice job by Domenezes.
Yeah, he came in that time on a substitution, and they like the way he has good speed and he can really react to what, in this case, the running back's doing.
Okay, so 3rd down for UT Permian Basin.
Buffs do go with a nickel package. Got an extra back out there.
Can they get some pressure on Mooring? The Maroon platoon makes noise across the way. They bring pressure. Mooring throws it across the middle. Catch made and run after the catch, stretching across and picking up the 1st down for the Falcons. That's a nice job on the reception, and then the run after by Cameron, number 9, Kendrick Jones.
Well, you said it. Both linebackers came up. There was 2 linebackers. They came up on a blitz that time. So you throw it to where the receiver should be, where the linebackers vacated. They were able to do so, and he picked up the 1st down.
Swing pass on the outside, and a good play there for UT Permian Basin for about 3 or 4 yards. That went out to number 17, Chino Navarrete, which Bryce Chino Navarrete, number 17 for UT Permian Basin. Monahans, Texas. Last year, Monahans played West Plains High School in the playoffs, and Chino was all over the field. He was a quarterback and a safety.
Yeah.
Now he's playing receiver here for UT Permian Basin. This is a handoff and a tough run over the left side to the running back, Tyler Cleveland. And this Falcon offense, very impressive, doing a lot of different things early on.
Well, they really are. And, again, their line is controlling the line of scrimmage. And so, again, that's where the Buffs need to be able to put a little more pressure on what that offensive line is doing. And so right now they've been able to kind of have their way with what WT is doing defensively.
3rd down and 1 yard to pick up the 1st down here. Cleveland's the running back, and they've got 2 tight ends on the right side of the field. They're going to go over there or maybe run a trick play here. It's quarterback keeper. And enough for the first down easily there. Mooring picks it up. Tackle made by the Buffs' Sean Martin.
Yeah, Sean read it nicely. He came up because it was a RPO for the quarterback, and so he decided to keep it. It goes to the right side. And Martin came up to make the stop, but just not quick enough.
So the Falcons get closer to the red zone. 6:40 to play here in the opening period. Each team has scored 1 touchdown. Mooring hands it off to Cleveland. Blockers in front, and Cleveland is able to get across the 20 to the 17-yard line. Pickup of 6 yards, and that's a good lead blocker out there. Number 44, Brock Johnson, 6'3", nearly 250 pounds.
Jack Slagle slides down the line and makes the stop, but not before, as you mentioned. Picked up 6.5 on that carry.
2nd down and 4. Watch out for the receiver on the outside, Jeremiah Cooley.
One-on-one coverage over there.
Tyquest Shaw, the defensive back, who's in coverage with him. Mooring looks left, throws to the end zone, and it's incomplete. That was really good coverage by the Buffs. Ty Dillon and then Sean Martin gets over there late. Forces a 3rd and 4.
And they did it really nice. You're right. One was on the inside. That was Ty Dillon. Sean Martin was on the outside. And really the quarterback tried to throw it where only his receiver could get it, but it was too high for his intended target.
All right, there's a reason they call this the money down.
Yeah.
3rd down. You got to make a play defensively and get off and hopefully force a field goal try. Mooring and the Falcons offense, they want to keep the drive going and try to go score 6. 3 receivers split to the far side. It's a flip pitch play to the running back. Cleveland trying to get to the edge. Now he cuts inside, and he is into the end zone. 17-yard touchdown run. What a great executed play there offensively for the Falcons' 2nd touchdown of the 1st quarter.
Yeah, it really was a nice run that time. Again, credit a receiver out on the far side of the field. Opened up a seam block that allowed for Cleveland to cut back in and then just sprint to the end zone.
There's the replay, Bryce, set for Tyler Cleveland. He's off to a great start.
Just seeing if the receiver held Zach Schlago. It looked like he may have grabbed his jersey and got away with it. Extra point is good.
Well, and you talk about this rivalry. To add a little bit here to Tyler Cleveland, 5'9", 200-pound senior. He's a transfer from Eastern New Mexico. Falcons lead 14-7, 5:50 to play 1st quarter. We're back after this timeout on Flow Sports.
Headquarters and get helped, get fitted, and get your questions answered, and find out about our price matching online today.
WT student athletes drink low-fat chocolate milk post-workout because it helps replenish and restore muscles quickly to their peak potential. Scientific studies suggest that the immediate benefits of low-fat chocolate milk include boosted performance, improved training, and higher recovery rates in athletes. Add low-fat chocolate milk to your post-workout routine.
Go Buffs!
Nice drive for UTPB as they were able to cap it off on a Tyler Cleveland run into the end zone. The extra point is good. And the Falcons now lead 14-7, 5:50 left to play here in the 1st quarter.
All right, see if the Falcons pooch this thing up again. They will. Buffs are going to field it. It's just not good special teams play there, Bryce. 2 Buff players run into each other. I mean, the blooper film there, I hate to be negative, but that's the 3rd time that UT Permian Basin has kicked it short in the air, and you've got to know who's going to come up and take that on the run. Here's the replay.
Cameron Brown that, at first I was looking to see if he was going to fair catch it. Then he goes back. In fact, he does fair catch it. And so his
teammate ran into it.
Yeah, his teammates were watching, and so he showed the fair catch.
So the offense back on the field, trailing 14-7, 5:49 here in the first quarter. Play action, Gibson, nobody's open. Now he's going to have to take off and run. Escapes the rush, still on his feet, and now he is sacked. That was bad from the start. Credit for UT Permian Basin, Ashton Hamby, the defensive back, for the sack.
Well, they had 4 back in coverage, and so nobody really could get open from a receiver standpoint. And so really all Cannon could do was take off on the run, and there was no running lanes to run through.
Loss of 3. Now Cannon Gibson shovels it up to Brendan Ray, the tight end, who breaks a couple of tackles, and then the pile gets pushed forward. He's going to gain yardage to the 31-yard line. That's a 9-yard gain and a strange pass completion there from Cannon Gibson.
Kind of an softball throw, underhand, kind of threw it to him.
I've never seen one like that.
I haven't. I mean, it's not Johnny Manziel, or it's not Patrick Mahomes.
More Johnny Unitas, isn't it?
Yes,
okay.
That really was what it was like.
But it worked. Brendan Ray made a good run after the catch.
Brings up 3rd and short.
I shouldn't say that. I never saw Johnny Unitas play.
I did. So, yeah, he and Earl Morrow both.
Throw to the outside.
Oh, man.
Ooh, hard hit. That's
a great open field tackle.
It's a first down, too. Tyree Tipton hangs on after he takes a punishing hit from the defensive back. But he signals, yep, I held on. That's a first down.
Well, and, of course, head coach Chris McCall is over there saying, I don't think he got beyond the yard marker, but the officials say, I'm right here standing. I saw where he caught it, and that's why I moved the chains.
Kendrick Jones, the sophomore from Lancaster, put a big hit on Tyree Tipton. First down, Buffs. And there's a good running play for Trajan Henderson. They spin him around after a 9-yard gain deep into the Falcons' secondary. The tackle made by Jalen Rockmore.
They'll give him 10 on that. They moved it up another yard, so another first down for the Buffs.
3:30 to play.
Good to see Trajan take off.
The offensive numbers good. I mean, for the Buffaloes, getting closer to 100 yards of offense. Cannon Gibson, a quarterback keeper to the left, and he just squirts down as he picks up a yard. That was closed off quickly by UT Permian Basin.
Tackle by Tristan Exline.
The linebackers they are fast. They're fast and physical.
Yeah, and they fly around. They come after you, and so, again, they're trying to gum up the running lanes too. You got, 3 down linemen, then the linebackers kind of come up and fill in the different gaps.
So 2nd down and long, and the Buffs call for a timeout. Coach Lynn did not like what he saw there.
West Texas.
So we'll step aside as well. Buffs, when we come back, have a 2nd down and 9. Ball on the other side of the 50. They trail by the score of 14-7. West Texas A&M and UT Permian Basin hooking up tonight here on Flow Sports.
We live where wide open roads lead to wide open spaces, where life is lived a different kind of way. We believe that generosity should always be given, but loyalty can only be earned. Community is sacred. Integrity is learned. We believe in going the extra mile, whether it's time to work or it's time to play. But most important, we believe in doing the right thing, always.
When I got up out of bed to take a step, I collapsed, and it turned into osteomyelitis. My leg was amputated. It was within 2 days of being dead. I can say Northwest saved my life. Because in April, I was dead, for the most part. And we worked together hand in hand for 2 years, to where now I can walk again. And I just want to say thank you, Northwest, because that's my ultimate goal, to live and not ever give up.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as the Buffaloes have it 2nd and 9.
2 receivers out to the bottom of the screen. Look for Swoboda. He's got a couple of catches already. This is going to be a handoff, though, to Henderson. And Henderson hit initially at the line of scrimmage, is able to gain 2 or 3 yards. He's running hard, but that time UT Permian Basin, their defensive line, did a good job with that push, and then that allowed for the linebacker Tristan Exline to make another tackle.
Yeah, and again, off to the right side of the line that time, trying to turn a corner. And again, credit UTPB defense as they were able to make that stop.
So it's 3rd down and 6 for the Buffs. Gibson flips it back to the receiver on the reverse, TJ Moore, and Moore is going to be hit hard after he gains a half yard, maybe 1 to the 50-yard line. They were trying to, the trick play, the problem was as fast as TJ Moore was, Bryce,
yeah,
he couldn't get around the Falcons
and he
defense.
went so far out trying to get around. That was the problem. Couldn't go on a more direct route, and so, again, that slowed his advancement capability there. And, again, picked up about a couple, but it'll be 4th and 5.
Here's the punt. And it takes a good bounce inside the 15. This ball's going to roll inside the 10. So a nice job there for the Buffs, hopefully getting UTPB pinned deep in their own territory. James Ingham, the punter out of Adelaide, Australia.
Yeah,
oh, Bryce, look at this. The Joker's in the house.
James does a good job. Well, we are right before Halloween, so you never know who's going to show up. I credit all the students who are dressed in garb.
I mean, that was a really good costume. That was a good costume. Although if the Joker's there, then we know Batman's got to be somewhere.
Be pretty close. 1:12 left to play here in the first quarter.
We'll see what the Falcons can do. The Buffs defense has got to show up now, Bryce. It's been 2 drives that they made a couple of plays, but just not been able to get off the field on 3rd down. And credit UT Permian Basin's offense. They have made plays on the ground and through the air. Mooring all day to throw, has a receiver open. It's Patterson again, and he's got a huge gainer into Buffalo territory. The coverage from McClendon. But a big problem right now, Bryce, is Isaac Mooring is standing back there, checking his watch, checking his phone.
No pressure
looking
whatsoever.
left, looking right.
Yeah. Well, and again, Cam Manningham not able to play tonight. And so, again, you would put him on quick receiver. And, again, we're just getting beat off of the snap.
So, Mooring, the freshman, came into this game tonight, 49% passer, 112 yards per game through the air. This is a handoff, and now the run game going. Penalty marker flies. We haven't seen that yet tonight. Behind the play, Tyler Cleveland, if it stands, has a gain of 7 yards, but this could be coming back for a hold.
Tackle by Sean Martin.
Well, that's what it looks like it is. We'll wait for the officials to say.
Holding, number 44, offense. 10-yard penalty, replay 1st down.
So that was the /tight end /fullback position where that's where that penalty came about. And so I'll mark it back.
Bryce, that was the first penalty of the game.
Yeah, it was.
So,
yeah,
with 23 seconds left, moves the football back
inside Falcon territory, back at the 46.
Tyler Cleveland in at running back. He's already got 5 carries, 35 yards, and a touchdown. Play action. Mooring sits in the pocket, throws deep again and again. The Falcons had a step on the Buff secondary, but this time the ball was overthrown, incomplete, fortunately.
Yeah, that's the one thing on this particular receiver that he's trying to go to when he's trying to get it
And it's the end of the first quarter.
to Wells. Wells just isn't that tall, and he's overthrown him twice because of height differences.
Well, we know the Falcons are fast. Well, that has been proven in this first quarter.
Yeah.
They got a good offense, and they have a 14-7 lead after 1 quarter of play. We'll take a timeout, start second quarter action here from Canyon, Texas. We're back after these messages on Flow Sports.
Tonight we have Colton Long of Carbon-Tech. Carbon-Tech is a family-owned and operated business and has grown significantly over the last 25 years. The company's mission is still the same, serving customers with excellence and integrity. Tonight, we present Colton with a signed WT football helmet. Fans, let's give Colton and Carpet Tech a round of applause for their generous support of WT Athletics. And now it's time for the Feldman's Wrong Way Kick. Turn your attention to the lucky fan, Alex, as he tries to kick a ball through the goalpost backwards for a chance to win a gift card courtesy of WT Athletics and Feldman's. On your mark, get set, kick. Nice try, let's do it again. Last try. That's a good effort, Alex. Let's give a round of applause for Alex, and thank you to Felton.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as we get set for the second quarter. Second down and long for UTPB. 166 yards in that first quarter for the Falcons, 100.
That's way too much, Bryce.
Yeah, it is. It is. And again, their quarterback looks extremely comfortable. Not a lot of pressure on Isaac Mooring. And that's where we need the defense to kind of change things up just a bit.
Well, and it's tough because you say, well, bring pressure. But if you bring pressure now, the defense is secondary. You better cover.
Yeah.
So the Falcons offense, they're doing a great job. Kenny Hertzer, the quarterback from last year, co-offensive coordinator now for the Falcons. And their coach is really dialing up some good plays to start this game. Second quarter begins. Second down and long. And again, a deep ball to Patterson. Are you kidding me? He's at the 15, taken down near the 10-yard line.
Well, a linebacker on him. I mean, that's the one thing. Again, not too sure why on a speedy receiver you put a linebacker on him. And so, again, Zach Schlegel just couldn't stay up with him. Kind of look at the replay. Zach was just backing up. I think it was something broke down in coverage.
You can't have the middle linebacker in coverage with Ben Patterson, who already has a touchdown. This is a good play for the Buffs defensively as Mooring is taken down for no gain, maybe a half yard on a little bit of a busted play. That's what we want Zach doing right there, Bryce, is making tackles at the line of scrimmage.
That's absolutely it.
Not in coverage with speedy wide receivers.
You know, you talked about the co-offensive coordinators for UTPB. The other thing, too, is with this quarterback, they probably in the last few games have found the things that are comfortable for him, so they designed the offense around what he is comfortable doing.
Deion Cook split out to the far side. This is a run over the right, and it's gained inside the 10-yard line by Cleveland. Schlegel and also the safety, Jamel Acosta-Lewis, come in, combine to make the stop. So here it is, Bryce. Here's the defense. It's time to put up or shut up. It's third down for the Falcons, the Buffs, 3rd and 7 with the ball on the 9-yard line, and WT needs to make a play right now.
They're late getting people in. Yeah, need to take a timeout.
They do. Coach is still signaling for players to shift over.
I don't know why UTP didn't snap the ball.
Mooring rolls to the left, throws, catch made at the 4, and the Buffs are able to hold the receiver up. This is going to be
pass complete to Laquan Wells.
Laquan Wells making the catch, but not enough for the first down.
Well, that's a difference with a freshman quarterback, because when the Buffs were struggling getting people in and out, everything else, they should have just snapped the ball.
Because the official wasn't standing over it, was he?
No, they could have snapped the ball, and that would have been, offsides.
Again, Buffs late getting subs in. Falcons going for it on 4th down and 1. Ball on the 3-yard line. Mooring in the gun. Quarterback keeper, quarterback stroll into the park. Touchdown. Wow.
Well, that's too easy. I mean, again, that was just going around the left side. And so a couple of linebackers, or a linebacker was watching, but he had to determine, do I take the quarterback or do I take this receiver over here or the running back over here? And he stayed with the running back. And, again, Isaac Mooring does the right thing. He just turns it upfield and goes in for a 3-yard score.
That would have been a touchdown in flag football.
Yeah.
So it's 20-7. Again, the defense all kinds of mistakes in this first half for WT. They're going to have to figure some things out. Here's the replay. I mean, nobody touches him.
There you see the linebacker out there. Baird is trying to determine who do I take, because he was trying to take the pitch man if there was going to be a pitch.
Falcons have 220 total yards of offense. They also have a 21-7 lead. We're back after the timeout here on Flow Sports.
Nothing connects people in Canyon like WT football. No one connects Canyon to fast internet like Optimum. Get speeds up to 1 gig with 99.9% network reliability. Switch to Optimum Mobile and connect to big savings on America's largest 5G network. Optimum is an official partner of West Texas A&M Athletics. Sign up now at Optimum.com. Optimum, where local is big time.
Where are we going and how are we going to get there? Get there with room to spare in your new Ford Expedition from Tri-State Ford on I-40 at Ross. Grab your friends and go. Tons of new Fords are rolling in. Face the road ahead in a dependable truck. The built Ford Tough F-150. Looking for more horsepower? Saddle up the legendary Ford Mustang. Or how about a new Bronco or a Maverick? We've got your new ride. You'll find friendly...
Here's the kickoff from the Falcons. Again, they're going to kick it short. This time the Buffs come up and field it. They fair catch it?
Somebody must have signaled a fair catch.
TJ Moore Jr. was ready to take off, Bryce.
Drive will begin at the 25-yard line.
Well, I don't know on that one. I didn't see anybody raise their hand for a fair catch, but whistles were blowing. A 7-play, 92-yard drive. Again, they had to go from the 8-yard line. Did that in 7 plays, and they were able to get it in the end zone. Isaac Mooring on a 3-yard run. Extra point is good, and UTPB leads 21-7.
I just don't get that on the kick return. It's because we haven't done it correctly yet in this game. 1st and 10 for the Buffaloes, down 2 touchdowns. Cannon Gibson and company back on the field, and it's a handoff to Jamal Joseph. His first carry, the junior from Miami, Florida, who's been good for the Buffs. Kind of spells Trajan Henderson on the season. 176 yards, 2 rushing touchdowns, 1 catching out of the backfield.
You'd like to see, Joseph get going too, but again, the Buffs want to get the running game going, but, only just not getting too much open space to run in. There's a quarterback keep that goes for a couple more yards.
Up to the 29, so that's a good gain, and it'll set up a 3rd down and very manageable here. If you're the Buffs, you got to pick up this first down, and it's Andres Barraza that checks in, and a receiver checks out. So here's the 6 offensive linemen again.
Yeah, and again, use the extra lineman to set up and open up a running lane.
UT Permian Basin walks the linebackers up into the box. And now the Buffs look over to the sideline with 8 seconds on the play clock. See if they change things up. Hand off to Joseph. Joseph makes a good cut, dives, and picks up the first down. Big play there.
They overloaded the other side of the field, and so Joseph runs to the weak side. But again, the defense was overloaded there too. So once he got to the line of scrimmage, he just dove forward and try to pick up that first down.
Another carry for Joseph and a good hole. So the Buffs offensive line doing some good things early here against UT Permian Basin. Official.
Tackle by Ashton Hamby.
Well, they have to wait because.
Helmet pop off.
Yeah. So defensively, the defensive nose tackle,
Austin Williams,
lost his helmet, so he has to
what
go to the
size
sideline.
Helmet do you think that is, Bryce? It would not fit us. Again, he's out of Valdosta, Georgia, and a really talented nose tackle. 26 tackles this season, 5 for loss. So he's not on the field right now on 2nd down and short. The Buffs stay on the ground, and Jamal Joseph getting himself going. Another good gain, and that will be another first down for the Buffaloes. That's the good sign here early on, is that the offense has been able to move the football. And on the ground now, picking it up, over 50 yards of rushing as a team.
Yeah, and Jamal's doing a nice job, too. Again, you want to get that second and third back that gets some carries, get some yards. And so, again, the Buffalo's able to do so with Joseph here on this drive.
This time, Joseph taken down immediately.
Yeah.
Jamal Joseph with the carry.
And an injured player, as both UTPB and West Texas A&M are signaling for the trainers to come out.
Injury timeout.
And it's one of the offensive linemen who does pop up, but that's Jax Andrews, who the trainers are going to help off the field. And they'll take their time and don't want to see anybody get hurt on either side. And the Buffs lose, for the moment, 6'3", 295-pound sophomore from Schertz, Texas. There's a good tackle, by the way, by Tristan Exline. And WT gets some subs on the field. TJ Moore Jr. checks back in, so now 3 receivers on the field. This will be a pass. Gibson steps up in the pocket, and that Joseph can't hang on to that pass. That's one where initially, Bryce, I thought he was going to direct Joseph to block for him, let Cannon run.
You know, I think that's what Joseph thought too, because he kind of turned away from the quarterback, and so then he just unloaded and threw it out to Joseph, and he just couldn't find the handle on it. But it looked like there was running room for Cannon Gibson to take off and go.
So after some good runs and a couple of first downs picked up on this drive, now the Buffs face a 3rd and 10 from their own 42-yard line. Brennan Ray, the tight end, makes the catch, tries to dive forward and pick up yardage, but he stopped at the 49, so he gained 7, needed to gain 3 more yards.
Yeah. So it's 3 yards short, and so, again, the question is, do you bring the punt team on? And they do, because they're not across midfield.
Yeah, you have to punt this football back, but Bryce, you also have to get in this defensive huddle and say, fellas, we got to step up, because it has just been whatever UT Permian Basin has wanted to do so far in this first half offensively, they've done it. James Ingham punts this football, angles it to the far side, and James Ingham comes through again. What a punt, and great hustle by the Buffaloes down the far sideline there by number 28, Julian Ledoux, as that punt stops at the 3-yard line.
I was curious if he was going to fall. The momentum was carrying him into the end zone, and he does a nice job to put the brakes on.
It's a 48-yard punt for Ingham, and I mean, you know, there's been some things that haven't been great in this first half so far, but the punting has been outstanding.
Yeah, watch right there, see if you, what a nice job to control your body and the momentum without going in the end zone.
Timeout on the field, so we'll take one as well. 8 minutes, 9 seconds to play before halftime. The Buffs trail by 2 touchdowns. Need the defense to come up big when we come back after this on Flip.
For 90 years, the Lone Star Conference has been committed to excellence. What began in 1931 as a 5-team conference has grown to 18 institutions spanning 4 states. And while membership has changed, the pursuit of athletic success and academic excellence has never wavered. 119 national championships, over 2,000 All-Americans, and nearly 300 academic All-Americans. Celebrating 90 years of success, this is the Lone Star Conference.
Whataburger's new Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double.
Sounds like a 5-alarm fire.
Not really, Frank. The jalapeno cream cheese, jalapeno ranch, and pickled jalapenos give it a pleasant heat.
So like a 4-alarm?
Nope. It's a delicious controlled blaze.
Like a little kitty stuck in a tree alarm.
Nah, hotter than that. Let's say the 2.5 alarm Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double. I think the pole's broken.
New Whataburger Bacon Blaze Jalapeno Double. It's just a little hot.
Welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. A special teams play pushes UTPB back to the 3-yard line, and that's where they'll bring their offense out.
Can the chicken dance ignite the defense, Bryce?
Maybe. Crowd is liking it. nevertheless. What a great night, too. A beautiful, as Kent Johnson described, a beautiful night here at Bain Schaefer for almost going into November. I think the crowd's disappointed they quit the chicken dance.
Standing in his own end zone, Mooring going to air it out deep again. We said that a lot tonight, and it was nearly intercepted. David Jeffrey was coming over from the safety spot, and I thought he was going to pick that one off.
Well, it was a nice read by the safety. That's what you want your safeties to do. You watch on this, he's backpedaling here, and then he just reads the quarterback and comes over, tries to intercept that one, and was almost there.
And again, it's Ben Patterson, number 10, that Mooring really trying to go to.
He can fly.
6'5".
There's all kinds of movement.
Patterson is 6'5", 220 pounds, a junior from Fort Worth.
You know, and Jeremiah Cooley was the one we were supposed to watch out for.
Number 44, offense. Penalty is half the distance to the goal. Still second down.
Patterson has 3 catches for 144 yards and a touchdown. So the penalty pushes the Falcons back to the 1.5-yard line. Second down and 11. Cam Manahan on the field. He's in coverage on the outside. This is a run play with the quarterback. Mooring trying to bounce it outside, and it's a good play coming up from the outside. Defensive back to make the tackle was Dyquest Shaw.
Yeah, Shaw.
If he doesn't make that tackle, Bryce, the quarterback's still running.
I mean, that's a good job. He read it perfectly, and so he was took a great angle and was able to trip him up as he really just couldn't turn the corner because of Shaw. Buffs, again, having trouble getting players in.
Falcons are 4 for 5 on third downs. Play clock is at 5 seconds. 4, 3. Mooring takes the snap with 2. Looks left. Throw to the outside. The catch was made. It depends on the spot, and it's short for about 2 yards as Sewell makes the catch, and Dyquest Shaw made the tackle.
That brings up 4th down for the Falcons.
You know, we saw Jeremiah Cooley warming up, but he has not been out on an offensive set as of yet. So they're going to bring the punt team out. That's a good sign for the Buffs, as it's 4th and about 1.5 yards. In fact,
hey, the chicken dance worked, partner.
Yeah, and I'm actually, Coach McCullough is going down and giving the sideline official an earful. I think he doesn't agree with the spot of the football.
So a punt for the Falcons, and whistles blow.
Delay a game.
Oh.
Offense. Penalty is 5 yards. Still 4th down.
Coach McCullough puts his hands up in the air and says, well, what?
Well, he's upset, but really and truly, part of the reason his offense took a while to go is he was barking at the official on the far side of the field.
I wonder if some of it too, Bryce, has to do with, the Buffs with these late defensive substitutions and the referee standing above.
That's
and
part
then
of
now
it.
you only have about 4 seconds on the play clock. Snap back to the punter was low, dangerously low, but a great kick that Swoboda makes a fair catch just on the other sid of the 50-yard line. That's a great scoop by the punter to not only scoop it off the turf, but kick it.
Yeah, you got to keep your composure on that because you got people flying at you, and he was able to do so and get rid of it.
Rafael Vargas, the senior from Oxnard, California, who does have a long this year of 73 yards of a punt. There's Bucky down there roaming the sidelines. Kent Johnson's down there roaming the sidelines. He'll visit with Josh Lynn at halftime. It'd be a lot happier, Josh Lynn, if the Buffaloes could get some more points right now, Bryce, trailing 21-7.
Well, again, the offense looked good for a series in that first quarter, but really haven't got on track here yet in the second. 6:50 left to play in this first half.
Being outgained 230 to 128 by the Falcons. Quarterback rolls to the left. Gibson now will tuck it and run. Oh, and he is leveled, hammered. And, the thing is, you say, well, was that a targeting or something like that? He's a runner, and so that changes a little bit. He's not defenseless. He's not standing back there in the pocket. So when Gibson takes off there, here's the replay, Bryce.
Yeah, and that's
watch this hit at the end.
Jacob Humphrey that comes in 6'4", 310 pounds, and I saw him warming up earlier. He was out walking around on the field He's from Moss Bluff, Louisiana.
That's how they hit in Moss Bluff, Louisiana.
Absolutely.
2nd down and 9. Gibson. Nobody's open. Now he'll roll to the right. And Gibson's going to get out of bounds after only a couple of yards. So great coverage in the secondary from the Falcons. And then you see the closing speed from this defense. Because Gibson's a fast runner, but he could not get around the defense of UTPB.
Well, again, the defense for UTPB looks worthy of being a Lone Star Conference champion from a year ago. And so, again, they are really flying around toward the ball.
Trajan Henderson in at running back. The Buffs work with 2 receivers, or 3 receivers to the left. Gibson. Again, nobody's open. Now he's scrambling, running, breaks 1 tackle, and gains only a couple yards before he is stacked up by several Falcon defenders. And Gibson very slow to get up as his offensive linemen help him up off the turf. Well, the defense did its job. They got the ball back with excellent field position, and the offense
just can't move it. And so it was a nickel package. They had an extra defensive back in there. So that's why he wasn't finding anybody open. They had 5 defensive backs. And so, again, just nowhere for him to go with the football and no running lane because he went to the short side of the field.
So Gunnar Absek, the senior from Cedar Park, goes back to receive the punt. Ingham angles it to the far side. Again, that's an outstanding punt. Where are they going to mark the football out? Close to the 5-yard line. Looks like the 6-yard line.
Yeah.
So, again, punter doing his job in this first half. You'd like to see the extra point kicker, though, more than the punter.
Yeah, you would. And, again, the offense is just struggling in that series. I mean, they only got 3 yards, any kind of positive yards when they had great field position. So, again, it's a challenge to get the offense in gear.
So again, in the shadows of their own goalpost, the Falcons offense back on the field. 3 receivers will split out to the far side, and the running back, Tyler Cleveland, gets the carry. Huge hole for Cleveland, and then he's stacked up there by J.T. Cavender. Good tackle by Cavender after a short, just a 1-yard pickup by Cleveland. It looked like the hole was there, and then it wasn't.
Yeah, he closed it quickly, and so, again, J.T. Cavender continues to climb the list as he is going to be one of those as the leading tacklers for WT.
Yeah, needed 2 tackles tonight coming into this game to move into 6th place.
We know he got 1. He just got that one right there. So
Mooring, the sprint out play, and it's caught again by Patterson. He stepped out of bounds at the 25-yard line, but that was an excellent laser throw, and then a good snag by Patterson for a first down.
Well, again, the Buffs went for an interception on that one, and so Patterson just stayed zeroed in on his quarterback, and the ball somehow found its way into his arms. As we watch on the replay here, nice little pattern, and he comes across.
Oof, what a throw.
And just unable to knock that one away.
That was the 2nd tackle for J.T. Cavender, so congratulations. He passes 2 Buffalo defenders and moves into 6th place. One of the players he passed was a guy we used to love watching, Chris Thomas. This will be a good play. There's a negative yardage play. Sosa Sakimi comes back and takes Isaac Mooring down. It was a quarterback run, so it's a loss on the play back to the 20-yard line.
That's what we need to see more of from the D-line, able to get in there and put pressure on the quarterback. The other one was Kyle Voss.
Yes.
Who was tied for.
Who was a great linebacker.
Chris Thomas, yes.
I'm telling you, there have been some unbelievable linebackers.
Yes.
Here's 2nd down and long. Mooring sets in the pocket. Great protection. Ball tipped away. That was great coverage by Ty Dillon as he knocked the ball loose, intended for Jeremiah Cooley.
That's the first time we've seen Cooley in a run pattern or a pass pattern so far tonight. And so, again, that's Josh Lynn said that's the one we got to worry about.
Here come the defensive subs again. And it's 3rd down and 15. Falcons need to get the ball past the 35-yard line to keep the drive going with 3 minutes and 7 seconds to play here in the second quarter. Mooring going to step up and avoid the rush. Now he gets past Cavender at the 25, at the 30, falls forward at the 31. He's going to be about 5 yards short of the first down marker. And the punt team will have to come on again for UT Permian Basin. Will give the Buffs offense the football back with about 2:30, 2:10 to play by the time they get the ball back.
21-7 our score at UTPB. The offense for them has struck with big strikes tonight.
All right, so the defense says we did our job. Come on, offense.
Yeah. Defense is getting better each series.
The punt going to hit out of bounds. See where they mark it close to the 40-yard line. Well, I thought it hit out of bounds. It stayed in, and they're going to mark it out at the 34. So the offense, Bryce, last time WT, they had really good field position, and they could not move the football at all. They've had trouble the last several pass plays with Gibson looking around and nobody to throw it to.
Well, and again, you said it at the beginning. He just seems like he's uncomfortable. And, the last two ball games, he has just kind of, been on target, been on, able to find everybody that he's looking for. And tonight he's just not as comfortable. And I guess credit UTPB's defense.
Torrey Simmons is in. He's the slot receiver to the inside on this play here for the Buffaloes. Carried to Trajan Henderson. Henderson breaks one tackle, and then he's taken down.
I think he lost the football for a moment.
Okay.
And that's what stopped him, is he had to reach back and pull that one in. Still got 5 yards on the carry.
Ashton Hamby and Jalen Rockmore make the stop, and that takes us to the 2-minute timeout.
This is the 2-minute timeout.
Yes, sir. So with the score 21-7, the Falcons leading. Buffs would love to get some points on the board and cut into this lead here before halftime. We're back after this on Flow Sports.
Regular Buick GMC's inventory is busting at the seam. With over 200 GMCs and over 60 Buicks available now. Our free lifetime powertrain warranty, all of our customer reviews and testimonials, my $2,000 best price guarantee. Why even think about going anywhere else? We won't be beat on price. Take a short drive south of Emerald to see why, after 41 years of keeping my promise, this will be the best buying experience you've ever made.
Need more business? Choice Media is your local outdoor advertising solution, helping businesses grow since 1992. After 31 years of business, Choice Media has both static and digital billboards throughout Texas, New Mexico, and Oklahoma. Billboards are the best choice when trying to grow clientele or promoting brand awareness. Contact Choice Media, your local advertising company, at 806-352-6585 to speak with a billboard expert today. That's 806-352-6585.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as the Buffs trail 21-7, 2-minute timeout. 2 minutes to go before our halftime festivities. 254 yards for UTPB, 202 of those all through the air. And again, they've relied on a couple of receivers to pull that in. Buffs 137 yards, and 83 of those are through the air. And so again, Buffs just struggling a little bit to get the offense in gear for this contest tonight.
There's Zach Dietrich, number 71. He's in now, the senior from Keller. Offensive line for WT. We've seen a couple of different players, and we also saw Jax Andrews come off the field injured earlier in the game. Two receivers are split to each side on 2nd down and 5 for the Buffaloes. 2 minutes to play before halftime. Gibson sets in the pocket. Great protection. Again, nobody's open. He's looking. Now he has to take off and run. Gibson at the 40. Now he throws, and it's complete to Swoboda. Down the sideline, he got a block. Swoboda's at the 20, and it's a big first down pickup. And Bryce, as Gibson was running, I was thinking, don't cross the line of scrimmage.
Right, I know, that's what I was looking too. So was the official down the line. He made sure that he didn't go across as he found Swoboda all open. That was a 6-man defensive backfield for UTPB, and so, again, nice job to break that.
Gibson goes back to throw, going to try to fit it in the window, and it was intercepted. That ball should not have been thrown. It was intercepted on the far side for UTPB.
Intercepted.
And you're right. I think once he let it go, he knew he shouldn't throw it. And again, he threw it.
That was Dante Hagan's number 20 that went to the turf and made a great interception.
Well, he threw it only where Dante could get it because it wasn't up high enough for our receiver. And so, again, just an errant pass and a turnover when the Buffs just got a great play right before that.
They had, and now the defense comes right back on the field, and they've got to be careful because even though there's only 1:25 left, that's plenty of time for this Falcon offense to score again.
And the Falcons get it to start the second half as well.
It's not what the Buffs needed at all. They needed at least 3 points, if not a touchdown. Handoff over the left side, and there's a good swarm defensively to cut the running back down for no gain. Cleveland took the carry, and all he saw was gray and pink.
Yeah, that was all that was in front of him. So nice stop by the defense for no gain whatsoever. Clock continues to run. 1:05 left to play.
WT has 2 timeouts remaining. There goes Patterson in motion. Better go with number 10.
Man on coverage. There's a move. Okay, haven't said yet. So I was going to say there was movement.
Well, WT's defense is moving from one side to the other, and now with 7 seconds left, it's a handoff to Cleveland. Big hole opens up for Cleveland, makes 2 defenders miss. He's got a first down across the 20-yard line. Shake and bake on the run there for Tyler Cleveland.
Interesting if this changes your offensive set now that you got out of the shadow of your own goalpost.
Yeah, they may take a deep shot here with 30 seconds left, and the Falcons still have all 3 timeouts remaining. Mooring, going to go play action. Throw across the middle, incomplete. Patterson was the intended receiver, but he was blanketed.
Yeah, he was almost triple teamed, in fact. And so, again, kind of threw it where no one could catch it.
Unfortunately, Bryce, we have seen the story earlier in the season in terms of the Buffs getting a big play, being close to scoring, and then a turnover.
Miscue, yep.
Throw to the outside, catch made, and then the receiver runs out of bounds, and Ty Dillon was being mauled.
Yeah, there's a flag. That should be the penalty, as the side judge saw it and threw his flag. And so that should be a holding.
It was on the big receiver, Jeremiah Cooley, on the outside.
Holding, number 10, offense.
He called the wrong number.
10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
It was Cooley, not
Still second down.
Patterson, but
yeah, he didn't get the right number, but it was definitely Cooley, and we saw it, and so too did Ty Dillon. So they'll move this one back.
Maroon Platoon with the chant of "You can't do that." Everybody loves that one. 21-7 the score. Handoff up the middle. Again, good run. Tyler Cleveland going to gain yardage to the 23-yard line, and that should be the last play of the half.
Should be the last one for the half, yeah.
Well, Kent Johnson will be standing by to visit with Josh Lynn. And here, I'm going to try to stay positive here, Bryce. Buffs only down by 14 points. That was not a good first half. But they're going to come out in the second half. They have to change some things, but they only trail 21-7.
Well, the good thing is the defense tightened up there at the end of the second half. And so, again, we get ready as Kent Johnson is standing by, and we wait for Josh Lynn to join him. 21-7 is our score here at the half as Josh makes his way down. Let's head down to the field and go with Kent Johnson. Kent, go ahead, take it away.
Down on the sideline with West Texas A&M head coach Josh Lynn, and 4 big plays put you in a hole.
Yeah, put us in a hole. We talked about that. I mean, that's what they're good offense, great offense, and part of that good offense is them making big plays, and we've got to get that shut out.
What's your message to the team?
Oh, we're good. We just, we got to be able to go in there and run the ball a little bit. They kind of made us one-dimensional in the pass in the second quarter. Next thing is just keep grinding. We'll claw our way back in this time.
Appreciate it, Coach. We're halfway through. Let's go back upstairs to Lucas and Bryce.
All right, Ken, thanks very much. 21-7 is our score here at the half. We'll go ahead and take a timeout. We'll do so and come back here to Bain Schaefer. But first, this break on Flow Sports.
JT Cavender, Mechanical Engineering in Midlothian, Texas. I chose WT for football. Secondary choice, definitely engineering. That's definitely what I looked at next, and WT is a great engineering school. So some of the strengths of the engineering programs are being able to engage with the professors and be able to build a relationship with them. And then you have a great community behind you. And that's probably one of the strongest parts of Canyon and WT. And so it pushes me to be great.
I have always had a passion for sports. My purpose changed from being an athlete on the field to supporting other athletes during their athletic career. The athletic training program has given me opportunities to directly impact players on and off the court. Through my clinical hours, I have gained the knowledge and create rehab programs to help athletes play the sport they love. My efforts contribute towards getting players back in the game, and it is my mission to lead athletes to healthy lives. WT was my next step. Now I am fully equipped to helping athletes stay in the game through sports medicine.
My name is Jason Harris. I'm from Austin, Texas, and I'm a senior majoring in computer information systems with a minor in marketing. I know I always had to pursue a career in computers because that's where the world's going. I'm good at it, why not? But I also have a passion for creating content with my camera. I love photography, videography, and eventually I want to start my own marketing firm. I also want to keep growing, gaining more knowledge, so that way I can actually pursue the career that I want. As far as my favorite professors here, I learned more about business, management, and all aspects of that from him than I've learned from anybody else. Best class I've ever taken in my life. He just gives me a perspective on the world that I never had before. And it made me realize that there's a lot more out there that I can do, and more out there that I still need to do and experience to become the person I want to be. WT special, because I came as an engineer. I discovered my love for photography, and I was able to branch out into my love for business. And it all let me do that without any pressure or any criticism. And without that, I wouldn't be who I am right now.
I'm learning the skills I need to be successful right here, right now. I'm ready to conquer anything that comes my way, from job interviews to working with a team and selling my art. I'm ready to take charge. WT was my next step, and I am on the path to becoming a successful art director.
Well, you hear the band in the background, Bain Schaefer Stadium, where the Buffs trail 21-7 here at the half, and this is kind of what we need the Buffs to do in the second half, is get like Rocky and fly now. That's what we hope so. Anyway, Bryce Sheets, Ken Johnson joining you here as we go through our halftime statistics. And again, they don't look good for the Buffaloes here in the first half. And again, total plays 34 for UTPB for 280 yards, 29 for the Buffs, 178, but just doesn't feel like the offense is in sync.
No, the Buffs' only real plays that have gained yardage have been when the play is broken down and Cannon Gibson has made something happen, either running or with a pass out of a scramble. But you and Lucas talked about before the game that Josh Lynn wants to establish the run, and through the first half, the Buffs just haven't been able to. They've tried, but UTPB's interior defense have been pretty strong.
Yeah, they're really, really good. And so for UTPB, 17 rushes for 75 yards. For the Buffs, 18 rushes, so one more rush, but only 54 yards. And so Trajan Henderson has 6 carries for 30. Jamal Joseph has 5 for 17, but never seen that big push, that big rush to kind of get things going. And so do you credit their defensive line or what? I mean, when you look at it, I mean, it seems they're getting a good push from that line up front.
I think the Falcons are controlling the line of scrimmage defensively. You know, you look at UTPB's offense, they've had 4 big plays. Ben Patterson has 4 catches. He's averaging 40 yards a catch.
Yeah.
You can't take those away, but were you to do it, this would be a neck-and-neck game. But UTPB last year showed against West Texas A&M that you can go vertical over the top at times. They've done that 4 times. They've scored on 2 of them. And that's, to me, that would be a concern if I was on the WT staff, is a way to limit the air yards that UTPB is getting.
Well, the one thing UTPB has done tonight, too, is they're playing 5 and 6 defensive backs, and so they'll only, for a lot of their defensive sets, will only have 2 linebackers in there. So they're trying to make sure the Buffs aren't going to be able to throw the ball in this one. But back to what you said, Ben Patterson, 4 catches, 161 yards, and a touchdown tonight. And again, it's just those guys getting around and getting behind the secondary.
They're getting behind the secondary, and Isaac Mooring has done a great job of getting the ball to them, putting it out there where they can catch the ball. Now, one trend that I noticed as the second quarter went on, the Buffs flipped field position, whether it was the kicking game or, you know, holding them on a 4th down or something. They need to continue that in the third quarter, because UTPB's offense was not nearly as volatile when they had their back to the goal line.
And credit James Ingram, 4 punts, average of 42.5 yards per punt. And so as long as it's been 48, but he's been inside the 20 3 different times. And so that's a big plus for the Buffaloes. 3rd down conversions, that's a tough one. WT is only 2 of 6, while the Falcons are 4 of 7 in this one tonight.
Yeah, I mean, you know, you take away the big plays, and this is an even game, but you can't take away the big plays. The Buffs, if they're going to stick to the ground game, need to be getting some chunks of yards rather than 2 and 3 at a shot, which is what we saw last week. You know, I think back to last week's game at Eastern New Mexico, the Buffs trailed 17-6. That's not much different than 21-7.
No, that's very, very true. And so hopefully the Buffaloes do get it turned around, able to get the offense in sync, make those slight adjustments they have been able to do the last 2 weeks defensively, and that could be a big difference.
Yeah, looking forward to it. Interesting to see how the third quarter starts and unfolds, whether WT can come out and make something happen, or whether UTPB asserts their dominance.
Well, our score at the half is UTPB 21, the Buffaloes 7. We'll see what shapes up for the second half. We'll be back after this on Flow Sports. Thank you, sir.
See how this one shakes
Buff Nation Zeta Tau Alpha's national philanthropy is breast cancer education and awareness. Statistically, 1 in 8 women in the United States will be diagnosed with breast cancer in their lifetime. Breast cancer touches and affects many lives. Will you please join me in honoring those who have fought and overcome the battle, as well as remembering those who no longer have a battle to fight? We would like for any of the survivors in the audience tonight who are comfortable being recognized to stand as we honor those.
They kind of opened things up in this one. In the very first series for UTPB, their quarterback able to get it up the field as Isaac Mooring looked to Ben Patterson. It was only a 2-play drive, and it was a 53-yard strike that made the big difference to make it 7-0 at that point. Buffs return favor, though, the other way as Cannon Gibson able to find Zorian Stanton on a 33-yard catch. The extra point was good, and we were tied at 7. That was a 5-play, 75-yard drive. But then Tyler Cleveland able to take it in for a touchdown to make it 14-7 with 5:50 left to play in the first quarter. And then the second quarter, it was Isaac Mooring on a 3-yard run. And again, it looked like the Buff defense was kind of scattered on what they needed to do on that. And so it made it 21-7. Since then, the Buff defense has tightened up and not really allowed Isaac Mooring to do a whole lot in this second half. But nevertheless, it's a 21-7 lead for UTPB.
Yeah, I think you got to be happy if you're UT Permian Basin because, again, it's your true freshman quarterback that to this point in 2 starts, he had done some good things with his legs, but was only averaging 149 yards through the air. At halftime, 205 through the air, 10 of 17 passing. He has found those athletic, fast receivers early and often. That has enabled this running game to open up as well with the runners. They're back there, Tyler Cleveland, 63 yards and a touchdown at halftime. Speaking of the scores, Bryce, what do you got around the Lone Star Conference?
Well, again, a final, of course. Eastern New Mexico beat Western New Mexico earlier today. So, too, did Kingsville as they took care of Western Oregon 21-14 out in Mammoth, Oregon. Other scores to pass along to you, Angelo State, right now, no problem with Saul Ross leading in San Angelo 43-10. That's with 2:50 left to play in the third quarter. So that's the scores. Midwestern State and Central Washington, they still have yet to get underway, which they are about to just get underway here in just a little bit. And so that's the way the Lone Star Conference shapes up for football tonight. Again, our score here, 21-7 UTPB with the lead over WT.
Kent Johnson, we told you he was going to be all over the place. He's hustling down there on the sidelines, going to try to get it set up and hopefully get a chance to visit with UT Permian Basin's head coach, Chris McCullough. And if you're Coach McCullough, probably a lot of things he's very pleased with.
I think he's really pleased with Isaac Mooring's play. And again, I'm just curious if they were able to do some adjusting to what his strengths are in their offensive sets. And so, again, he's looked very comfortable playing quarterback tonight for UTPB.
All right, Kent's down there getting set up with Coach McCullough. We'll go down to the sidelines. Kent Johnson with Chris McCullough.
Let's go
halftime. UT Permian Basin leads West Texas A&M 21-7, joined now by UTPB head coach Chris McCullough. And Chris, you had 4 big plays that gave you a lead. What was your message to the team at the half?
Just got to keep going, right? WT's a great football team led by a great staff. You know, they got some weapons on the outside that we saw. They got a few explosives as well. They got some guys that can make this game really close, really fast. So we just got to continue to do what we did in the first half and stay together.
WT's trying to establish the run, but your defensive line's controlling the line of scrimmage.
Yeah, our D-line has been great all year and shown improvement every week. But again, Josh Lynn coaches this offensive line, and they're going to be ready this second half to roll.
We appreciate the time, Coach. Thank you.
All right, Kent.
Let's go back upstairs. Lucas and Bryce for the second half.
All right, Kent, thanks very much. And again, that does kind of sum it up. What they're trying to do is they want to be able to control that line just a little bit. They've been able to do so thanks to their front 3 and really their linebackers. But what's been interesting, too, is that they've used a nickel and a dime package defensively from time to time. They feel like their defensive backs are physical enough they can come play as linebackers. So that is a big plus for them as well. UTPB back out on the field. Now Buffaloes make their way back out as they get their final warm-ups in for this one tonight as well, getting ready for the second half. UTPB will receive to start half number 2. And so they're getting their final warm-ups in ready for this one as well.
Well, football's a game of two halves, obviously, Bryce.
Yeah.
And you heard Coach Lynn, staying very positive during his halftime interview and saying, we made some mistakes, but we're still in this thing, and we're going to fix some things coming into the second half. You see coaches make adjustments all the time. WT definitely going to have to do that. But one thing that the coaches really shouldn't have to get on the players about, that does need to change, in my opinion, coming out in the second half, they got to have a little bit more energy, a little bit more passion. We were a little flat to start the game.
Yeah, no, I think we definitely were flat, and so that's the thing. Home it's family day here at West Texas A&M, and so I'm sure the players have family members in as well. And so, again, you want to come out and really perform, and so you can't come out and lay an egg on your first possession of the ball game. Your second possession was much better, but then again, you've got to get the offense in gear, and they've struggled to do that through the first 2 quarters of the ball game.
We go back and look at our keys to the game. Run Buffaloes run at halftime.
And we haven't been able to do that. We've tried to establish the run. To their credit, they've tried to do that, but UTPB has had a answer for that.
Yeah, just 54 rushing yards for West Texas A&M.
That's what I mean. Credit their front 3 defensively. They've been able to stop the run.
Second was solid tackling in space. It's been okay, but at times it's really just been more about coverage and a lack of pressure on the quarterback, probably.
Yeah, and I think that's the big thing. They really haven't been able to get to Isaac Mooring, and so when they were able to trip him up. But he's looked very comfortable in the pocket tonight, not afraid to run with the football, and so he looks like he's feeling very good what he's doing out there on the field.
And key number 3 is to be determined. So far, Buffs have not proven it, but they can come back. Need a good start here in the third quarter as you see UT Permian Basin, the Falcons, on the road. They're trying to do something they've never done before, and that's win here at WT.
Yeah, that's absolutely. They're 0-3 here, 0-1 at Bain Schaefer, and so they'd love to come up for the 4-hour drive on up here in order to come away with a win. And so the Buffaloes need to, we'll see. That's been the fun thing for WT in the last 2 ball games is the adjustments they've made at the half have been fruitful, and we hope that's the case today.
So it will be the Falcons that will be receiving the football to start. West Texas A&M defensively, as we look at those statistics at halftime, being led in the tackling department by Zach Schlager. He has 7 tackles. David Dominizis, 4 tackles. Sean Martin and JT Cavender each have 4 tackles. The Buffs did not force a turnover in the first half. Came close to blocking a punt. David Jeffrey got his hands on a ball that was thrown, knocked to the turf, but
they haven't forced a turnover, but we've committed a turnover, and that's been the other one. Had a nice drive going, and we throw an interception. So that's, Kenneth Gibson would like to have that one back as well.
All right, here's the kickoff from Preston Gregg. It's a deep drive that Falcons are going to let go over their head into the back of the end zone. And West Texas A&M get this defense on the field, see what they can get going here in the second half. Lucas Kinsey alongside Bryce Sheets and the Thunder Vision production team bringing you this broadcast on Flow Sports. Glad to have you with us.
Good crowd on hand for family night today, and so a lot of activities I know going on campus. A lot of sport activities taking place today as well.
Not our first broadcast today, Bryce.
No, it's not. Is
this your hat trick for you?
This is my 3rd one today, so yeah.
All right, on first down, the Falcons go on the ground and about 4 yards up the gut to Tyler Cleveland.
Zach Schlager on the tackle.
And again, Bryce, this Falcon offense, Cleveland was not even on the depth chart.
Right.
Corey Harris, 680 rushing yards. Camden Tyler, 225 rushing yards. And then Gerald Palmer, a couple of touchdowns, 60 rushing yards. And it's been Tyler Cleveland tonight that has done the heavy lifting. Behind this offensive line, they give it to Cleveland again. Finds an opening and is across the 35. That's a first down, so 2 runs and an easy first down picked up there by UTPB, this offensive line, need to shout these guys out. Tristan Willis, Mason Swingley, Maximus Johnson. That's a great name for an O-lineman. He's the center out of Tulsa, Oklahoma. Ramon Diaz and Wyatt Payne.
That's also a good lineman name.
What have you seen so far from this offensive
and again,
line?
they control the line, and they're opening up some running lanes for their running backs to be able to get through tonight. And so, again, they're kind of controlling what the Buffs are trying to do defensively.
They bring both linebackers up on the line of scrimmage. Cleveland runs into J.T. Cavender. He's got a 6-yard gain on first down. I mean, if they keep doing this, the Buffs are in trouble.
Yeah, you're averaging 6 yards per carry, and so, again, that's all you need to do. You just need to keep running the football and go behind this offensive line and let them continue to work. Again, a big offensive line. The 2 tackles are not quite at 300, but everybody else is over 300.
So 2 first downs picked up. It's been 3 runs to Tyler Cleveland. New running back in the game here. And a carry short of the first down, but that is Corey Harris. So we did not see Corey Harris in the first half, but the 200-pound junior who, again, is close to 700 rushing yards on the season, and he takes a carry there. It's going to be 3rd down and 1 from the 45-yard line for UT Permian Basin.
I wonder, and curious, just this, whether he might have been injured or maybe been a discipline thing or something along that line that he didn't play in that first half.
They give it to Harris here, and he picks up the first down. He was tripped up by Sean Martin, but not before the running back gained yards to the 49-yard line. Run here for the Falcons.
And the thing about it is that Cleveland did a nice job. He had 13 carries for 80 yards and a touchdown in that first half.
As dangerous as the wide receivers are and what they've already done through the air, now you got to watch for play action. Harris over the left side. And he's got yards gained into Buff territory to the 48.
And, of course, the Falcons would be real content with this because this is running the clock. And so, again, the longer they can stay out and just run the football and not have to throw anything, again, that makes a big difference what they can do as far as chewing up the clock.
2nd down and 7 coming up. They gave Harris 3 yards on the carry. Watch out for Patterson. He's the slot receiver. They run it, though, with Harris, and Harris squirts underneath Cam Manahan and picks up almost 2 yards. It's going to be 3rd down and maybe 5-6 yards here to gain for the Falcons. Big 3rd down coming up for WT.
3rd down.
Buffs running a nickel defense as well.
Quarterback keeper, Mooring, right up the middle, easy. 1st down to the 38-yard line before he's tackled by the safety, David Jeffrey.
Well, that was an RPO, and again, he just had a nice read on it. Fakes the pitch to the running back, and that kind of parts the sea, and he's able to just go right up the middle and pick up the 1st down. And again, like I said, he's playing very poised, very confident out there right now for the Falcons.
This is an opening drive of the 2nd half where UTPB is saying, we're just going to run right at you. We're going to play big boy football and push this defensive line back. 1st and 10. Handoff over the right. Hard running. Buffs trying to strip the football out. Unable to do so. And there's Camden Tyler. I told you they had some of these other running backs, Bryce. Camden Tyler, number 25, a sophomore from Dallas, Texas. 225 yards on the ground this season. And his first carry goes for 4 yards.
Well, they've already taken 5 minutes off the clock here in the 3rd quarter. It's exactly what they want to do.
Handoff to Cleveland over the left side, and he runs into a wall after a couple yards picked up. On the bottom of the pile, they pick up J.T. Cavender as he's in there to make the tackle. 3rd down And about 4 coming up here for UT Permian Basin. Look at that clock down to near 9 minutes to play here
That's
in the
what I mean.
third
They've
quarter.
taken 6 minutes, almost 6 minutes off the clock here. So just a great opening drive for the Falcons.
Three receivers split to the far side. A running play for a first down. And this time it's Camden Tyler.
And Tyler did a nice job that time, and credit again the offensive line. They opened up a big hole for him to run through. Once he saw it, he sprint through quickly before he got tripped up at the second level.
Under 8:30 now, 8:25 to play, third quarter. UT Permian Basin leading 21-7 and taking this opening drive of the second half, just going down the field easily. That should have been a touchdown. The quarterback overshoots the intended receiver who was streaking wide open down the middle of the field, Dion Cook.
I guess if there is a criticism of Isaac Mooring passing the football, that is 10 of 18 tonight. And when he misses,
he's got the arm strength.
He got the arm strength for sure. But when he misses big. So either over high, way over the top, or completely where nobody's at.
Receivers all spread out. UTPB, again, all their success has been on the ground in this second half. Running back in, Corey Harris. He's on the right side. He gets the carry, runs left. And that time the Buffs did a good job. They come up and make a stop.
Corey Harris with the carry.
David Dominizis, the linebacker. JT Cavender comes up. Initially, Bryce, it was a defensive lineman, Goo.
That's what I thought. It was Goo that
got in their face.
Got in there and forced him to the outside. And so that kind of took him offline. The Buffs were able to make the stop.
Third down and long here from the WT 26-yard line. Falcons trade out running backs again. Now Camden Tyler's back on the field. He's fast. Play clock at 5 seconds. Mooring wants to throw. There's Tyler, and he dropped it, and that's on Mooring right there. The ball, again, just a little bit overthrown because the running back, Bryce, WT didn't have a defender 5 yards with him.
He was wide open, and that should have been just a little throw, a little pitch and catch, able to get it. You get your, on the wheel route, you got your running back coming out of the backfield right there. You see the wheel route, and you just throw it where he can get it. And it may have been, I mean, that's one you probably should have caught as well.
So this will be a field goal try here for Angel Diaz.
Saw him in warm-ups, and he had no problem from the 40, so this one inside that.
High snap, 43-yard try, and it's no good. Push to the right. So the Buffs defense does hold. A lot of time comes off the clock. That's the biggest issue, but this is still just a 2-touchdown deficit for the Buffaloes. Now, what are we going to get from the WT offense?
Yeah, let's see what the offense does. Took 7.5 minutes off on that drive, so they did exactly what they wanted to, shorten the quarter. And again, you just have a time-consuming drive. Obviously, you want to come out with some points, but nevertheless, they took a lot of time off the clock.
Wind has picked up just a little bit from when we started the game, but
from the southeast, so blowing at the Buffs back.
Handoff over the left side. Good run there for Trajan Henderson to the 31-yard line. That's what Josh Lynn said. We want to get the run game established here in the second half. Gain of 5 for Trajan, who again was our X-Bar Steakhouse X-Factor of the game after last week going for 173 yards and 2 touchdowns in the wagon wheel victory over Eastern New Mexico. Again, they give it to Trajan. Good cut to slide inside and pick up about 3 yards. Maybe 2. This will make this third down and 3. X-Line makes another tackle for the Falcons.
That brings up third down and 3 yards.
He's the leading tackler with 10 tackles. Ashton Hamby has 5. And the Buffs have a third down and 3. They stay on the ground. Henderson is stopped I think, short of the first down. They got him right at the 35. He had to get across the 35. And
yeah, needed to get to the 36, so about a yard short. So when you're trailing 21-7, what do? Oh, they're going to punt this one away. Of course, the up man.
In the punt is James Ingram.
Just going to say with the one of the up backs, but that's J.T. Cavender out there as an up back.
James Ingham will punt it to Absick, who takes it from the 15-yard line and is taken down hard as he crosses the 25.
Returned by Gunnar Absick.
And that should have been a personal foul against the Buffaloes. They didn't see it, but a good tackle by number 28 on the special teams coverage, Julian Ledoux. He got lucky.
Yeah.
I'll just say that. All right, we'll take it to the timeout. Buffs in trouble, down 14, and no answer so far. 5:41 to play here in the third quarter. Back after this on Flow Sports.
27-yard line.
Hey, grab me one too.
Well, 329 yards so far in the ball game for the Falcons, and 124 of that's on the ground. Buffs trying to get the rushing game going, but they only have 63, and of their 124, 63 of that is on the ground. They just are struggling to get the running game going in this one tonight.
I'm going to be honest, Bryce, it's strange to me to still look up at the scoreboard and to look that we're only down by 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, nobody scored.
It feels like we're down by 4.
Yeah.
The Buffs have got to start making some plays. They go 3 and out after the defense holds, and the Falcons missed a 41-yard field goal try. This is a handoff up the middle, and the running back spins forward, and Corey Harris picks up yardage to the 30, give him 3 yards there as the tackle made on the inside by number 95, Charlie Leota.
And Charlie does a nice job as he comes up and makes that stop. Charlie, 6'3", 350-pound defensive lineman from Auckland, New Zealand.
This time Harris running downhill. That was a huge, huge gashing hole. He is close to the first down marker, Harris.
Well, credit Max.
I think he got it.
Yeah, Mason Swinley, as he opened up that hole for him to run through. And again, the Buffs kind of anticipated where it would be, but they just overshot the opening. And so that allowed for a nice run to pick up the first down.
Cavender made the tackle, but it was 8 yards downfield, and he came up kind of hobbled, holding his arm. He's still kind of
looking at it, yeah, flexing it.
Stay on the ground with the running back Harris, spins off of a tackle, falls forward to the 45, and this is an 8-yard gain.
Again, credit the left side of their line, opening up another hole. Tristan Willis, and again, Shawinley. I think I'm saying that incorrectly, from Mount Bellevue, Texas. So, nevertheless, those guys are doing what they need to on the left side of that line. Got the tight end over there as well, double tight end set.
Schweinley. Handoff over the right to Harris. First down Falcons. Right now,
they're doing exactly what they wanted to do. What they went into the locker room to say at the half is, okay, we're going to come out. We established we're in front 21-7. We're going to come out and run the football until they stop us.
Buffs have no answer right now. It is 1st and 10 And we only have 3 minutes and 35 seconds left here in the third quarter. Score remains 21-7. Harris, big hole. Harris gains 5 yards as JT Cavender has to dive on his back
to take him down. And again, you know, as far as the tackling statistics are concerned, JT climbing the ladder there with another one. But again, they're getting to the second level without any hesitation, without any problem whatsoever. And that's 3, 4, 5 yards in a gash.
Whistle blows, a flag, and a false start. Falcons will go backwards.
Well, again, that
False
has to
start.
be on the receiver.
Number 85, offense. 5-yard penalty, still second down.
Well, those are tied in on that one. And so, again, the official looking right down the line, saw him flinch a little bit. But right now, UTPB doesn't care because they wind the clock. Second down and long, second down and 10. But again, they've been getting 5 yards a carry.
Handoff. Buffs this time are able to stop the running back in his tracks, and they blow the whistle. That was Obadiah Ben Israel, the senior from Morris, Illinois, that was able to beat his man off the line and stop the running back they give him a gain of 1. So it's 3rd down and 9.
4 different guys have carried for UTPB tonight. They're averaging 4.5 yards per carry. And if you do that, you get a first down on 3 carries.
Empty set here, so now they're going to let Isaac Mooring throw it, or if he gets out in space, we've seen he can run.
Yeah, he definitely can run. Deep safety.
Mooring now being chased, throws it, completes it. There's a flag behind.
Yeah, that's going to be a holding penalty the way that flag came in. So that'll be holding against the Falcons.
Juwan Mason made the catch. The senior from Allen, Texas did for a gain of 7 yards, but here's the holding call.
Number 59, offense. 10-yard penalty, still 3rd down.
So they mark that one off back in Falcon territory at the 41-yard line.
That is the 6th penalty against the Falcons. Bright spot right now for the Buffs, Bryce. They've not committed a penalty. Screen pass complete at the 45-50, falling forward back into Buffs territory down to the 46-yard line was Jeremiah Cooley. UT Permian Basin, Chris McCullough still going to play conservative, and they'll punt the football back to the WT offense. And why not? Because your defense has been shutting out WT's offense since that opening drive touchdown, which seems like it was forever ago.
Yeah, no, they've done a nice job. They really have. Since the second quarter, they've made the right adjustments to, not allow them to get too much, but still they've been able to milk the clock down to 103 here in the third quarter.
Tucker Swoboda takes the punt at the 20-yard line and is hit hard. He was trying to cut back outside, and he could not get away from number 19 on the tackle, Jace Wyatt, on the special teams play. So the Buffs will start from their own 20-yard line after the media timeout as they're getting the battle balls out. That'll be a fun competition to see when we come back. It's 21-7. The Buffs are still in it, folks. We'll come back with the football after this.
Hey, grab me one too.
Okay, there's the winner of the battle ball competition. Again, that could do some damage, Bryce, especially to two old guys like you and me.
Well, yes.
The chiropractor, you could be calling the chiropractor the next day.
It's definitely me that would have the issue out there. Nevertheless, the Buffs have an issue of trying to get the offense going. They trail total yards 363 to 187. It'd be interesting to see if Cannon can get the offense going on this just before the end of the third quarter.
And I know you want to run the football, Bryce. You can still run the football, mix it up, but you need to see the Buffs try to get UT Permian Basin off balance here. Trajan Henderson kind of stopped in the hole for a second, and he's thrown for just a 1-yard gain. It's like he was waiting for something to open up, and while he was waiting, shooting through was Dawson Bullard and Tristan Exline. Wow.
Yeah, you can hear the fans down there.
We heard that.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
He's not wrong.
No.
2nd down and 9. Henderson up the middle, breaks a tackle. Henderson runs through defenders, spins to the 35-yard line. 1st down, Buffaloes.
Biggest run of the night for
Trajan may have heard that fan.
Yeah, he did. Again, of course, last week over 170 yards for him, as he had some big gashing gains in that game against UTPB.
That is the end of the third quarter.
So we head to the 4th quarter. Still a 2-touchdown lead for UT Permian Basin. The Buffs will have a 1st down from their own 35-yard line when we return. 4th quarter action here from Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium. It's a pink out. We're back with the 4th quarter here after this. That was good, though, what he said. Remember the last 2 weeks.
Hey, Buff Nation, it's now the optimum 4th quarter, which means it's time for the countdown to shutdown, powered by Optimum. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2,
The tradition here at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium, the lights go out, the music comes on, the flashlights from the cell phones, and the thing is, when they do this, the opponents can jump around too, and right now UT Permian Basin is dancing, jumping, hooping and hollering, and they should be as they lead 21-7, start of the 4th quarter.
Yeah, again, they've had it go their way in the first half, and what they've been able to do here in the 3rd quarter is just run out the clock is really what they wanted to do. Haven't scored any other points. They missed on a field goal try, but nevertheless, they've been able to gain yardage, but more importantly, make the clock move. So the Buffs are going to have to see what they can do to get the offense going here in quarter number 4.
Cannon Gibson on 1st down. Looking, nobody's open now. He'll take off and run. Gibson at the 40, breaks a tackle. Cannon Gibson, 1st down, picked up. He gained 11 with some good moves. And I'm okay with him doing that, especially when he looks, Bryce, and those initial receivers are not open. He's got the ability to scramble.
Yeah, and again, that time he felt the pressure from behind, so he was able to go to the far side of the field. There was kind of, a couple of open yardage opportunities there, and he was able to take advantage of it.
The 6 offensive lineman package, again in here for WT. Trajan Henderson, oh, what a great job breaking free and shooting through for UT Permian Basin.
Yeah, number
Who
5.
was that?
Number 5 that came in.
Frank Muliapola.
I mean, he really he disrupted that play because there was a big running lane there for Trajan to get through.
Gained just 2 yards. Muliapola, 285-pound junior from Pago Pago, American Samoa.
So right up the street.
Exactly. Yeah, been there a few times. Not. But a great player. Gibson throws down the field, short-armed, had a receiver wide open, and that ball falls 5 yards short of Tyree Tipton.
He just has not been in rhythm tonight throwing the football. And so, again, that was a great example of a wide open receiver that just couldn't get there.
Tipton had beat the coverage on the inside. If the ball's on the money, he may have been able to take it to the house. It's 3rd down and 8 here for West Texas A&M. Three-man rush. Gibson steps up, now being chased, throws, catch made by Swoboda, and that'll be good for a Buffs first down.
Tucker Swoboda with the catch.
Pressure in the face of Gibson from the linebacker that time, Tristan Exline.
Credit Swoboda because he saw that his quarterback was under pressure, so he turns around and comes back to him.
It's a flag all the way down at the 25-yard line in UT Permian Basin. Players are talking to Cam Manahan, pointing at him. Cam Manahan's pointing back. And if you're WT, you hope that this penalty is not against West Texas A&M.
Well, he got the first down, so it had to be after the fact.
You still don't want to go back 15 yards.
They're pointing to West Texas.
If it is against the Buffs, it's going to be their first penalty of the game. The officials huddle together.
You know, and that's one of the things we talked about with Josh Lynn a few games. You know, you got to clean some things up. Penalties were one of those things. And so, again, and it's kind of interesting in this game in particular, in this atmosphere, that the Buffs haven't got a penalty as of yet.
The line judge is coming over and talking to Coach Lynn, and I saw he's pointing towards the sideline.
After the play, dead ball, unsportsmanlike conduct, number 0, offense, 15-yard penalty, 3rd down.
It's Tyree Tipton, and that's a big mistake.
I'm sorry, 1st down.
It's still 1st down for the Buffaloes, but instead of being on the other side of the 50 and closer to the end zone, they're now back on their own 43-yard line.
And so what that is, because it is a dead ball foul, it came after the play, so they move everything back. They move the yard marker back as well. So still 1st and 10, except you're right, it's back in Buffalo territory.
Now they wind the clock.
And again, those little things like that, they also disrupt your flow and your momentum after making a great play.
Gibson takes his drop, throws across the middle. Simmons hangs on after a big hit. So a gain of 4 yards, some ooze from the far side for UT Permian Basin sideline as Jelani Jefferson lowered the shoulder pads. But again, Simmons held on. Good catch.
He comes over and check him out. He's all good. He said it wasn't that big of a hit.
Yeah.
So, you know, he kind of took it and absorbed it.
Buffs need some explosive plays, though.
Yeah.
Down by 2 touchdowns and 12:45 left in the ball game. Gibson rolls to the right. Shuffle play to Brennan Ray again, and Ray runs through a couple of defenders. 1st down Buffs, no flags, across the 45 to the 43-yard line. I'm going to have to figure out what they call that, Bryce.
I was going to say, obviously they like it. They've run it twice in the game here. And, again, a little shovel pass, except it's an underhand toss, and it's different. It looks like you're throwing a softball.
It may be something Coach Lynn did back in the high school days in New Mexico.
Could be. Absolutely. Have to ask.
1st and 10. A little more tempo now from the Buffs. Gibson wants to throw, sets, great protection, throws across the middle, and did Swoboda hang on? What a catch.
Yeah, nice job. He threw it where only Tucker could pull that one in. And Swoboda does a nice job catching it at his ankles and containing it.
So 1st and 10 Buffs at the Falcons' 29-yard line.
And you see how deep the Falcons are playing back. And so the Buffs are looking for an open spot in that defense. It's kind of a zone read, and And really what they're doing, the Buffs are running to a spot on the field.
Another pass play. Gibson throws. Swoboda at the 15. Shake and bake. Swoboda hang on to the football. He does. First down to the 11-yard line. They got a connection going here from Gibson to Swoboda.
It's almost like their prevent defense is what they're trying to do. They're going to let them have big yardage, but now we'll see if they change it up once we're inside the 15-yard line.
Well, only one thing on the minds of WT offense right now, Bryce, and that is a touchdown.
Get in the end zone.
Hand off to Henderson, and he's swallowed up. He's going to lose 3 yards.
And that's one where again, and I don't know if that was an RPO, may not have been. It may be a straight handoff, but again, if you're Gibson, you want to look at it and you see them converging, so pull it out and then take off and try to get away, at least get some positive yards.
I think big 370-pound Austin Williams, Bryce, took on 2 or 3 linemen and just pushed them backwards.
Yeah.
So a loss of 3, second down and 13 for Cannon Gibson and the offense. Throw to the end zone. Swoboda being pushed, and it's going to be an interception. He was being pushed in the end zone. No flag is called, and that is an interception for the Falcons. On the far side.
Yeah, Josh is asking why there was no flag for that either, because he made contact, and you're right.
Dante Hagens with his second interception.
He pushed him out, and then he stayed in the pattern, and, again, it's one of those where.
I'd like to see the replay again, but at first glance, it looked like he took 2 hands and just
shoved
Tucker Swoboda out of the play. Here's the replay. The ball's in the air. This should have been pass interference.
Well, on the replay, what you saw, you can't see where the shove came before.
You can see the interception and a good one for the Falcons.
On the inside. He had the inside position, was able to turn back to the quarterback and make it.
That's 2 times tonight, Bryce. Once in the first half and now here in the fourth quarter where the Buffs are marching, need a touchdown, and instead it's a turnover.
And 2 times in the red zone. I mean, that was both of those interceptions have occurred in the red zone.
So the defense comes up big for UT Permian Basin. And they still lead 21-7. Now with 9:56 to play. Second down and 7 here for the Falcon offense. That was Corey Harris on the first carry there. And if you're UTPB, that's probably what they want to do here, is stay on the ground. Pitch play to the running back. And Slagle does a great job. Stays with the running back and throws him for no gain.
Again, that was just a nice read by the linebacker. He stays parallel with him, does not allow him to get forward, able to wrap him up and make the stop.
Third down and 7. The announced attendance from Kent Johnson, 6,127.
Slagle's telling the umpire there was a movement there on the line. He was wanting a flag.
Empty set here for the quarterback. Mooring wants to throw, and that was a holding, and they will throw the penalty marker as big 56 Dylan Parcher was trying to get to Isaac Mooring, and he was spun around.
When you see that many flags come out, usually there's a consensus of the whole.
I was trying to throw mine, but didn't get it this far from the press box. So this should be 10 yards, back them up, third down and 17, 18 coming up. Or.
Well, they mark
holding, number 59, offense. That penalty is declined.
So it'll be fourth down.
Fourth down.
Okay.
Yeah, because he only got to the 21, 22-yard line, so that'll bring up a fourth down. And again, the one thing they have been able to do in this half is burn clock. And so if you gave them another third down option on that, they would have taken more time off the clock.
And Bryce, I think there's 8:54 left to play in the game, so we'll see what happens. But to this point right now, I think this one is more on the offense for WT than it is on the defense.
Yes.
The defense has settled in.
Yes, they've held.
And they've got stops. But you got to be able to not turn the football over, and you have to score points. Here's the punt. Swoboda races over as it goes out of bounds near the 30-yard line. So a good boot there from UT Permian Basin's punter, Rafael Vargas.
That's going to move up another 2 yards.
Okay. Media timeout as West Texas A&M trailing 21-7 and running out of time, running out of chances. The offense will have the football when we return after this timeout.
Since 1933, the Panhandle Plains Historical Museum has housed the vast history of Panhandle Plains, given back to the community, and provided educational resources to those who live here. Located on the campus of West Texas A&M University, PPHM is free to all students, faculty, and staff at WT. We offer volunteer opportunities, internships, and hands-on research experience. From prehistoric times to pioneer travels, there's something for everyone at the largest history museum in Texas. Stop by and see us sometime. Oh, and don't forget, go Buffs!
Original, never compromise. Nobody can mess with my copyright. Make it look easy, you don't have to try that. Go and get it. Go and get it.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium. Still 21-7. It's been that for quite a while, as the last touchdown scored in this was early in the second quarter with 12:22 to play, as Isaac Mooring ran it in from 3 yards out. Since then, both teams have pitched a shutout. Buffaloes have had a couple of opportunities to get in the end zone, but have thrown a couple of interceptions inside the red zone. And so, again, as you can see, as they line up out there, the Falcon defense in definitely a prevent. They got 6 defensive backs out there anticipating the Buffs will want to throw it to get up the field.
Jamal Joseph is the running back. As Tucker Swoboda goes in motion, they're going to give it to Swoboda. He's going to roll to the left, trying to throw, stays on his feet. Swoboda at the 30-yard line. A penalty marker is thrown at the end of the run. And now Swoboda hit hard out of bounds. Officials come in and they separate the players. This is either a hold or a face mask.
Well, I think it could be a face mask, but I think it's more of hold from a receiver for the Buffaloes trying to create a running lane for Swoboda. He wanted to throw it, you're right. He was going to the left to throw it, and there just wasn't anybody open.
Number 0, offense. 10-yard penalty from the previous spot. Replay first down.
So they'll take the penalty and mark that off. So now it becomes 1st and 20 for the Buffaloes. And again, with the way UTPB is set up, it's total prevent. They're not wanting. They're going to let WT run the football. They're just not going to let them throw the football. 3 down linemen, a linebacker, and everybody else is a defensive back.
Gibson will run to the left and just heave this ball out of bounds. There's another penalty, and I think this is going to be another holding against the Buffaloes.
And that's what's bad
unraveling.
when you have a 3-man front and a linebacker that is trying to put pressure on the quarterback, and you're having to grab a jersey in order to keep them out, and you have a 5-man front.
Holding, number 63, offense. That penalty is declined. 2nd down.
So it'll be 2nd down and 20. They decline the holding, and
again, credit the Falcons' defensive line. They've been able to put pressure on the Buffs throughout the ball game.
Gibson will take his drop, step up, looking down the field, shuffle pass, complete to Joseph at the 30-yard line. Good run after the catch by Joseph to gain yardage to the 36-yard line. It'll set up a 3rd down and 4 coming up for the Buffs.
Well, much more manageable with a play like that. And again, you send all the receivers deep, so everybody goes deep with them, and that opens up a lot of real estate in the middle of the field, and Joseph able to take that and turn it upfield.
Just looking for that big play, that playmaking.
You're just waiting. You're on the edge waiting for it to occur.
Gibson. They bring pressure. Now he'll roll out, complete it again to Joseph. Sprinting and trying to get to the first down marker. He stepped out of bounds before he got there.
He did. He didn't know where he needed to get to. He was a yard short. And so, again, that's one of the things you got to communicate. We got to get to the 40. And he got to the 39, and that was it.
So now they have to go for it on 4th and 1. With 6:58 clock running. Handoff to Joseph, and he got just enough. He got to the 41-yard line. Joseph falls forward. But now with this clock not on the side of the Buffaloes, they're going to have to take some shots down the field if they can.
Yeah, and again, clock is running, 6:36 left to play. You're down 2 scores. You've got to get something up the field.
Cannon Gibson will throw. Nope, incomplete. Swoboda had it in his hands and was thinking about running for the first down, and he dropped that one. He usually catches those, but that one falls to the turf, incomplete.
It's one of those on a crossing pattern, kind of thrown right at his side, not really out in front where he can grab it, and so just having to turn his body back, unable to pull that one in.
Does stop the clock with 6 minutes, 25 seconds to play. UT Permian Basin has been in charge of this game. They scored 14 points in the first quarter. The Buffs scored 7. Another touchdown. There's a flip pass again, incomplete. That's an incomplete pass to Trajan Henderson. If he could have hung on, he would have been taken down at about the 50-yard line, but 2 drops, and now 3rd down and 10.
Yeah, and that's going to show up in the statistics. That doesn't help Cannon Gibson any either. He's 5 of 23 passing, but he's had a couple of drops there too that, have hurt his chances. Last year in this ball game, playing down in Midland, he had 3 misses on the night. He was 23 of 26 passing.
So 3rd down and long. Buffs need some yards here. Gibson steps up, throws it to Trajan. Catches it, breaks a tackle. Trajan Henderson into Falcons territory down to the 42-yard line. Good tackle at the end of the play by Tristan Exline.
Well, again, credit their prevent defense because the only passing lanes that are really open are those short passes to the backs out of the backfield or a crossing pattern. Nothing really up deep or down deep for them to go to.
Gibson, quick throw. Brennan Ray drops it. We got to stop dropping these passes. That one's a little low, but Ray's got to hang on to it.
Yeah, you're not helping your quarterback any when those are mishandled. Again, go back to the interceptions, both of those on drives, one in the end zone the last time out for the Buffaloes.
The difference in the game, Bryce, the Falcons are 2 for 2 in the red zone. The Buffs 0 for 2. Gibson rolls to the left, looking downfield. Now he's going to get taken down. No, he stays on his feet, breaks a tackle at the 40, at the 35, 30. Gibson somehow, with an incredible run, he's popped hard at the end of the play down at the 25-yard line. That's just some determination there from your quarterback. He should have been sacked for a 5-yard loss.
Yeah, watch on the replay because, again, no passing lane really to go to. He goes, he has to throw across his body there. Here. So he breaks 1 tackle. There's 2 tackles right there. Another, that's 3. And so, again, sets it up nicely for the Buffs.
Gibson, throw to the outside, and a long throw that's almost intercepted. Again, those are the plays that have gotten Gibson in trouble tonight. He was trying to get it to Zorian Stanton, and I know you want to get it to number 6. He's explosive, but the ball just hung in the air too long.
Yeah, he knew it too. He turned away, thought that was intercepted, as he knew when he released it that it wasn't a good pass.
Well, it's from one hash all the way to the other side of the field. Fortunately for the Buffs, it's incomplete. It's not a 3rd interception.
Had that been, then they would have put 6 more points on the scoreboard.
Snap back to Gibson. Shuffle to Ray. for 2 or 3 yards. We've run that play a lot tonight, and
yeah, they're beginning to understand what the setup is on that one, and so they're able to react to it. So not much.
Brought down by Frank Moyapola.
So it's 3rd and 8. Gibson. Throw. Oh, Henderson. Play broken up. Good defense by X-Line. Buffs fans thought he was there a second too early.
Yeah,
but
that's
good deflection.
Yeah, able to come over, but he came over the back and knocked that one away. That's why they thought.
They're having a hard time, Bryce, getting anything down the field with the receivers. It's these short little dump-offs that.
Well, again, and with the 6 defensive backs, there's just no open lanes to get, and they're playing a zone, so they're just stepping back. They're not really covering a person. They're just covering their area, and so that's why there's no openings for the receivers.
That was intended for Trajan Henderson. This is 4th and 8. Buffs at the Falcons' 23-yard line. Gibson. Nobody's open. Throws, and is it incomplete or did they rule it a fumble? Either way, it's going to be Falcons football as he had pressure in his face. UTPB, look how fired up they are on their sidelines. Wow.
And the one that comes out with a football is a wide receiver. That is Jeremiah Cooley.
Yep, it
comes
was.
out with it.
Here's the replay, Bryce. Again, no one's open. Swoboda's not open. Now he's going to scramble, and there is Cooley out there.
I think as he threw it, his hand hit Trajan Henderson.
Or actually, okay, that's the defensive number 1. That's on the roster. It shows it's Jalen Rockmore. So that was the linebacker, Rockmore, the senior from McKinney, that got the fumble recovery.
I'm sorry.
No,
you shouldn't be able to wear the same number.
Well, he's tall. I mean,
they're both big guys.
They're both big.
That's why you anticipate that. And so, again, I have a problem with teams being allowed to have offense and defensive numbers that are the same.
Here is the handoff to Harris over the right side. He gains yardage to the 35.
And this is what they want to do.
Well,
again,
they have the ability to run the clock out.
Yeah, and that's exactly what they want to do. Buffs will have to start using timeouts.
Yeah, this is going to be a disappointing one at the end of the night here for the Buffs because, Bryce, you say, hey, UT Permian Basin, explosive offense, you only give up 21 points. Can you win the game? Yes.
Well, for every game the Buffs have won this season, they've scored 42. And so every time they've scored 42. And tonight they've only got 7. So the offense has never got on track in this one.
Handoff to Harris. He's tackled by Schlager at the 39-yard line. It's going to set up a 3rd down and short. And if you're WT, this essentially becomes the ball game here. You've got to get a stop, or you may not get the football back. Or if you do, you're going to not have much time and still be down by 2 touchdowns. Mooring in the gun with Harris in the backfield. Falcons will let this play clock run down under 10 seconds. Quarterback keeper, Mooring. And his extra push gets the first down. The Buffs had him maybe stopped behind the first down marker, but I think he's got it.
Just with that 6'3" frame, he's able to fall forward. And again, that's what you want to do when you're that big is continue to move forward. He was able to do so, fall forward, and pick up the first down.
So now just 3 minutes to play in the ball game.
The Buffs get a stop here. They'll start using their timeouts.
Again, a positive run where Tyler Cleveland dives forward, picks up 4 yards, and the Buffs do take a timeout. With 2 minutes, 42 seconds to play. And
timeout. West Texas.
The score. I feel like I've said this a lot tonight. 21-7. UT Permian Basin with the lead. We're back after the timeout here on Flow Sports.
Dan's the kick.
Are big and bright, deep in the heart of Texas. The prairie lies
Bud Light, proudly brewed
in the heart of Texas.
In life, things aren't scripted.
If you're an athlete, we need people like you and translate those skills to officiating.
You can get a lot out of it. It happens in every town, in every game.
We never have a perfect game, but the rewards always outweigh the negativities.
Well, the fans still enjoying all the festivities here at Bain Schaefer. Buffs trailing 21-7.
Second down and 6. Quarterback keeper to the right. Good blocking for Mooring, and Mooring runs over people, runs through one of his own teammates. First down, Falcons. The clock will continue to run. They'll only have to do it a few more times as we're getting closer to the 2-minute timeout. And you can hear, all the way from over here, Bryce, you can hear the Falcon bench, the sideline, talking some noise over there, and they should be. They have really, it's 21-7. It's probably going to be the final, but they've dominated this game for most of the night.
Yeah, they really have, and, you know, credit their defense because they have really caused all kinds of problems for the WT offense tonight. And, again, last two games where we've seen the offense be able to move it, they just have struggled tonight.
All right, it's a 2-minute timeout, so we'll step aside and finish this one out. Falcons trying to finish the Buffs. 21-7 the score, and we're back with more football on Flow Sports after this.
Your support makes an impact. Buffalo Club donors help our student athletes achieve their goals of winning championships while earning their degree from WT. Your support provides funds for recruiting, scholarships, and program enhancements that make WT recognized as a top 10 NCAA Division II athletic program and the best in Texas.
Well, welcome back to Bain Schaefer Stadium as Bucky enjoying what's going on out there on the field. And the Buffs trailing 21-7 with 2 minutes left to play. And with a 1st and 10, all UTPB has to do is take a knee for the rest of it. I mean, the Buffs do have 2 timeouts left, but there's really no point. Well, we'll see if they decide to use them or not. But nevertheless, they do have 2 timeouts left with 2 minutes left to play as the Falcons bring their offense out. Isaac Mooring, who has really done a nice job tonight, 11 of 20 passing, 210 yards and a touchdown. He's also rushed 11 times for 32 yards. And really only runs when there is a necessity on a 3rd down or so. Mooring in the shotgun. Takes the snap and will keep it. We'll go off the right side and pick up 5 yards on the carry. Timeout taken by Josh Lynn. That stops the clock.
Timeout.
With 1:52
timeout, West Texas.
Left to play.
That's their second charge timeout of the half.
So we take a look at the statistics on this one. 387 so far for the Falcons, 316 for the Buffs. And that's what we're talking about with Lucas, is the fact that even though WT has 316 yards of offense, this seems like that hasn't really been the way they have wanted to run, obviously. 218 through the air, 98 on the ground. And again, they wanted to establish the run, and And the Falcons are the one that have been able to do that, 183 yards rushing for the Falcons tonight. Cleveland with 16 carries for 87. Harris 14 for 47. And Mooring, as mentioned, 12 for 38 in this one tonight. And as a team, they're averaging 4.2 yards per carry, while the Buffs only been averaging 3.4 yards rushing tonight. And really no explosive runs to speak of in this one. And so 2nd down and 4. Mooring in the shotgun. Has Harris to his left. Will keep it. And Mooring will fall forward and pick up another 1st down, and that should pretty well do it, as that stops the clock so they can move the chains. And now the officials will wind the clock. And Mooring will let the play clock run down before he snaps it. He needs to snap it at least.
Timeout. West Texas. That's their final timeout of the half.
Well, instead, WT takes the timeout, so we'll go ahead and take a quick timeout as well. We'll be back after this on Flow Sports.
Choosing the right countertops for your kitchen can be tricky. Nowadays, there are hundreds of colors, patterns, and textures and materials that range from natural to engineered stone. Marble Depot is here for you throughout every step of the process. And yes, we do have a lot of options that might make that decision a little harder, but we're also going to ask the right questions so that you get the most out of your investment. So come by our showroom and let us help create what you've been dreaming of.
We know that ag producers don't quit at 5 p.m. We don't quit until the job's done either. Bankers' hours don't apply at First United Bank because we believe ag lending isn't a 9-to-5 job. While you're out working the fields or managing the herd, we're making sure your money is working too. Whether it's for livestock, land, or equipment, we're one of the most dominant ag lenders in the state and have been burning the midnight oil since 1907. First United Bank. We know ag lending. We know ag.
Well, a snap for UTPB, and that they down it, and now they'll let the play clock run as WT has no more timeouts in this one tonight. And so Mooring just looking over at the far sideline, waiting to get the instructions. The V formation, the victory formation, so all you have to do is take a knee, but what he needs to do is wait for the play clock to get down, and he'll have to snap it at least 2 more times. So take this one and take a knee. And one of the things he's doing, which a lot of quarterbacks don't, a lot of quarterbacks just take the knee right when they get it, but he's running up as far as he can so he doesn't get the negative yardage. So they'll need to snap it 1 more time, and that'll do it as he gets set. And he'll take it and take a knee, and that'll be it as UTPB comes away with the 21-7 win tonight over the Buffaloes, as UTPB again coming into this one able to come away with the victory, and it's kind of been their mantra this year too, as well, as they win one and lose one, win one and lose one, and that's kind of what happened to them so far this season. As, again, for UTPB, they lost in overtime last week to Western Oregon. Win tonight. They have Eastern New Mexico and Sul Ross State left to finish out their campaign. For the Buffaloes, of course, they still have Kingsville, Midwestern, and Angelo State. We'll have, of course, one more home game here against Midwestern State, as that one will take place on November 9th. Again, the final, though, tonight is the Falcons of University of Texas Permian Basin 21, the Buffaloes of West Texas A&M 7. We'll take a timeout. We'll do so, and we'll come back with our post-game interviews. But first, this break on Flow Sports.
This season, the Bucs have had 7 sacks, bringing the total of donated funds $1,750.
You want to know the
Thank
stats?
you to Pack-A-Sack
What do you want to know?
for your sponsorship and support of West Texas A&M and snack packs for
Rushing,
kids.
rushing you.
Be sure to join us next Saturday.
Okay, rushing yards
On Saturday,
for
November 9th at 6
the
p.m.
Falcons is
versus
185.
Western State. Join us for military appreciation and the celebration of our senior class here at Bain Schaefer Buffalo Stadium.
Just tell me when they're ready. Down here on the field with head coach Josh Lynn after the Buffs suffer a 21-7 loss tonight against UT Permian Basin. Coach, that was our score at halftime, and I know you talked to Kent Johnson. We talked about adjustments and things that needed to change. What did not change in that second half is the final score ends up being 21-7?
Well, I mean, I thought, we did hold them points, but we needed to get off the field at times defensively. I thought they did a good job of ball control and kind of deflating the ball. The next thing is we didn't put points on the board. I mean, that's the story of the game, right? I mean, we got to score points, and you have to, in that type of game, you got to put some points up to get us close.
Offense did move the football, but it was just the turnovers. We had 2 interceptions as you were driving in. Was UT Permian Basin doing something defensively, or was that just on reads? I mean, you get the 2 turnovers.
They did a good job of mixing fronts, but, we moved the ball. We got to finish drives. You know what I'm saying? We got to finish drives and, and put the ball in the end zone.
Next week, you go on the road at Texas A&M Kingsville. What do you want to see the team do besides score more points next week on the road?
Just continue to get better. You know what I'm saying? So, once again, build off what we did tonight, and let's keep moving.
Thanks so much, Coach. Final score again tonight: 21-7. West Texas A&M suffers a loss to UT Permian Basin. First time for the Falcons to win here in Canyon. Back upstairs to you, Bryce.
2-7 on the night for UT Permian Basin. They improved to 5-4 on the season and 4-3 in the Lone Star Conference. The Buffaloes fall to 3-5 on the season and 3-3 in LSC play. And again, there's some of the big hits, big action from this one. This was the very first score of the ball game, as Patterson just got beyond the defense and was able to get in the end zone, a 53-yard pass completion. The Buffs would answer back, though. Here's a pass over to Tucker Swoboda as he is able to pull that one in on completion from Cannon Gibson. And then again, UTPB again, pass over the middle, and it's one of those big hit nights as that one is complete over the middle. And then Cannon Gibson again rifles a shot here in the second half. This was on the drive where the Buffs looked like they were going to get in the end zone, but one of the big things tonight was this interception right here. That's the second one, and the second one for him tonight in this contest, as the Buffaloes have 2 miscues on that. Cannon Gibson tonight, as we look at the final statistics in this one this evening, Gibson was 17 of 28 for 218 yards, a touchdown, and 2 interceptions, while Isaac Mooring was 11 of 20 for 210 yards and 1 touchdown. The leading rusher in the ball game for the Buffaloes was Trayvon Henderson with 13 carries for 53 yards, while Cleveland was leading ground gainer for the Falcons, 16 carries for 87 yards and a touchdown in this one tonight. And of course, as far as the leading tacklers are concerned for the Buffaloes, Zach Slager led the way with 19 total tackles in this one. JT Cavender had 11, Sean Martin had 6, and David Demarius had 5. Tristan Exline led the way for the Falcons with 12 in this one tonight. Again, the Buffaloes fall this one by a final of 21-7. Big thanks, of course, to our Thunder Vision crew for bringing the pictures and all the excitement here at Bain Schaefer Stadium. Until next time, enjoy your weekend. Enjoy the rest of your Saturday night. For Lucas Kinsey, I'm Bryce Sheets. That'll do it tonight from Bain Schaefer on Flow Sports.